We've got a little cat fight on our hands at BC Place. The Hamilton Ticats are looking to push their win streak to 5 games, while the Lions are hoping to get back in the win column before their bye next week. The Claws will be out tonight.
Nathan Rourke has thrown for 300-plus yards in 13 of 25 career starts, ranking him 3rd all-time in CFL history behind Doug Flutie and his backup, Jeremiah Masoli. 2 TDs per game this season. Looking to a great game to watch this guy tonight.
Kenny Lawler, he's on pace to break the single-season touchdown record of... What's that guy's name? He's
Who said that?
He's always saying he's cute in face and thin in the waist. That guy. Whatever his name is.
It's you, Milt.
Let's see if he can stay on pace after tonight's game.
One more game to go in week number 8. Well, kerfuffled now after that one. All the makings of an offensive track meet between the Lions and the Ticats. Welcome here inside the TSN studio. Laura Dyken alongside Paul Lafoulise and some guy that has some single-season receiving record, Milt Stegall. So here we go with this game here, featuring the 2 top passing offenses in the CFL. Coming into week 8, this game would also have featured the top passer, the top receiver, and the top rusher in the CFL. So lots of talent on the field here tonight, Milt. What are you expecting?
Points.
Yes.
Points. The first 3 games, they were okay. Total points of, 44, second game, 39, 48. As I told you guys earlier, I'm looking for at least 70 points this game. That's what type of game we're going to see. You see those 2 quarterbacks, the yards they put up. You talked about it. The 2 top receivers are in the game, the top running back. There are going to be some points scored in this game. As I mentioned before, at least 70 points. That's what I'm saying, Coach.
I'm interested in seeing the defensive coordinator tonight, Mike Benavides, what he's going to do against Kenny Lawler. We talked at the top of the show what he's doing. This is a quote from D coordinators. You cover where the money is. What does that mean? It's like, hey, you play coverage where the most expensive receiver getting paid is, right? Cover where the money is. Don't put Tim White and Kenny Lawler next to each other. What you want to do, put Kenny Lawler on one side, Tim White on the other side. And if you do that, I think Giovanni Robinson, Greg Bell, Tyler Tanowski, those guys are going to get all those underneath throws when you have to put 2 players over the top on Kenny Lawler, because you do not want explosive pass plays on him.
All 4 of Hamilton's wins this season have come against East opponents. So this is their first West opponent since back in week 2. And interesting from the BC perspective, this is their first game against an East opponent since week 5. They beat Montreal, so just their 2nd team against the East. As you can see, not long to go now before kickoff. It's the Feline Bowl to close out week number 8. Oh, I like it.
See the spotlight, shining my name, the world watching, it's on the heavyweight. They watching, I'm the heavyweight.
Just another beautiful summer afternoon on the West Coast. Welcome to Vancouver and BC Place as we get set for the first meeting of the season between Hamilton and the BC Lions. 2 teams, of course, led by very talented quarterbacks in Bo Levi, Mitchell Suits, and also Nathan Rourke, but they each have some talented receivers to work with.
Well, Kenny Lawler, let's start right there, having a great season and chasing history, on pace to break the single-season touchdown record. And just to describe how good Kenny Lawler has been this year, number 2 on that list is Keon Hatcher, who is also on the field tonight. He'll be the #1 target for Nathan Rourke. Lawler's played 1 less game than Keon Hatcher and still leads the league.
Buck Pearson, his first season as a CFL head coach, looking to get back to 500 after a loss to the Riders here a week ago. And Scott Milanovich, in his 2nd season as Hamilton's head coach, got off to another slow start with 2 losses to West Division teams, but then won 4 straight against the Eastern rivals, Montreal, Toronto, and back-to-back over the Ottawa Red Blacks. So Hamilton has something going now. Milanovich had said all along early, starting the season better was so important for them to turn things around. There's Seven McGee back for the football to get it started. The Lions won the toss. They want the football. Why not with these two offenses? The two most explosive ones so far in the Canadian Football League. And see what they got today in perfect conditions here. The roof open at BC Place. There's Mark Leggio to get things started. Well, as our old friend and colleague Rod Black used to like to say, get ready for a cat fight. Got one here with the Lions and the Tiger Cats. Week 8 continues. Underway off the foot of Leggio. Down for Seven McGee, taking it just inside his 15. Up across the 30, 35, and tackled there around the 38 for Nathan Rourke. Another 300-yard plus game last week, but a loss to Saskatchewan, Suits.
Yeah, 15-10 in Nathan Rourke's career. His win-loss record versus Hamilton, he's 500 and 1-1, and 3-2 this year. Of those 5 games, 4 of them he threw for over 300 yards. However, wasn't happy with his own performance against Saskatchewan in their last outing.
BC fell into an early hole against the Riders last week here, 17-1, before they could answer back with a touchdown. Looking for a better start from the 38. Here is Rourke. James Butler, ex-Ticat, in the backfield. Rourke rolling out, throws it, and it is a catch too. Keon Hatcher, leading receiver, and he picks up about just 1 yard actually on that one. Second and long coming up.
Ella Manning is going to play that right guard spot because they're going to kick Chris Slugger out to play for Dejon Allen, who's missed 5 games now. Slugger missed 1 earlier in the season, but he'll play right tackle. And there's a guy that's a little bit motivated to play against his old team, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. More on that as the game goes on. But James Butler, coming into the week, top running back in the league.
Lost his job to Greg Bell last year and ended up being let go and signed back with BC. Second leading rusher in the CFL, but they're throwing now. Second and long. It is caught, a first down too. Up across the 50. Going back to Hatcher, that time in a crowd, and he brings it down.
Reggie Stubblefield had a chance at it, but the timing from Nathan Rourke was excellent. That's a little curl right in the trips formation coming out of that bunch. And watch Stubblefield cut underneath and just miss it.
Just threaded that through. See how close Stubblefield came there. Gain of 14 for Keon Hatcher. Mentioned second in receiving yards heading into the week in behind Kenny Lawler. DeMonte Coxey passing him yesterday, but he got 15 yards so far now. Play action pass. If he can get it away. And he does. But no, intended for Stanley Burial, goes incomplete. Second down.
Newcomer on the defensive line, Philip Osai, is going to play out of North Alabama. Played 3 years at Houston Baptist University, couple years at Northern Alabama. He gets a start at defensive end. There's Reggie Stubblefield, third start for him at that cover linebacker spot, and then you go back into the secondary, and Stavros Katsatonis knows Nathan Rourke well. Used to work out with him when he, former UBC guy out here on the West Coast, and used to work out with Nathan Rourke. They talked about it this week.
Back where he had his college days, Katsatonis, 3-man rush, second down. They have got him. He tries to dish it off just as he was going down. It is taken there by Butler, and attempts the pass, but incomplete, and a punting situation coming up for BC.
BC ball. Going timeout. Okay.
Looks like that is Philip Osai coming off the edge.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's third down.
That was a forward pass, even though it was underhand and was forward. So smart for James Butler to go and make sure of it anyway. But that was a good speed rush off the edge by Osai, playing against Chris Slugger, who is normally a guard. Dejon Allen has missed 5 games.
Little movement at the line. The Lion steps back before the snap of the ball to Carl Meyer to punt it away. It's like 5 more yards back for BC.
Procedure. BC number 43. It's a 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
Terrence Gagne flagged for that procedure call. The referee today, Tim Croker. So pushing the ball back to the 48 of the Lions, and South African punter Carl Meyer to get it away. Standing inside the 35, Tim White and the explosive Isaiah Wooden back, and it's heading White's way down inside the 2 by the Lions as well. Coming in is Adam Konar to make sure there's no return there. Bo Levi Mitchell just seems to be getting younger. Leading passer in the Canadian Football League and now in the top 10 all time. Getting set to go to work here at BC Place. It has been a season of milestones so far for Bo Levi Mitchell. This last week in Ottawa in the Ticats' victory over the Red Blacks, when he came in needing 27 yards for a move into the top 10 all-time, got it on a touchdown pass to Kenny Lawler.
Yeah, right here, past Tracy Ham to move into the top 10 all-time. He's got Doug Flutie in his sights now, just 520 yards behind Doug Flutie, who was a former BC Lion.
He'd be pretty happy to do it today, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that'd be quite tonight.
Let's see what he does. Throwing now on first down. Opening possession, Ticats. It is complete. And it is... Oh, it comes out. Keaton Brugling had it. Lions trying to touch it before it goes out of bounds. It is BC football. It was Mitchell to Brugling who was trying to get a few more yards, but coughed up the ball, and right away, BC is set up in the Ticat zone.
Keaton Brugling was out in the flat all by himself, so the decision to go there was a good one by Bo Levi Mitchell. The Lions had dropped off in their zone look, and lots of room underneath. You could see about 15 yards before the close from the Lion defender, and there comes the ball. Sat on inside on the... Did not go out of bounds here, although last touched anyway, even if it did, was a BC Lion.
Trevion Blaylock, the new boundary half, getting his first CFL start as the last Lion to touch it, securing the ball, so inside the 20. Nathan Rourke, great place to start, completes that one to Berryhill, tackled there by Jamal Peters, but a good pickup on first down. Deep in the Ticat zone.
I think Robert Carter was the guy who forced the fumble, so we'll see how... A couple things we're going to look for when the Lions get back on defense. See if the BC offense can get points off the turnover. The turnover is the first part. That's the first part of the puzzle in the equation. The second is to get points off it. And you grab momentum big time.
Something they did not get, as mentioned last week against Saskatchewan. 2nd and 4 after that pickup of 6. Nathan Rourke. James Butler, first carry, and he drives it inside the 10. You know he's fired up against his old team, and that's enough for a first down. A first and goal here for BC.
Yeah, you can tell just by that run there's a little jump in his step, can't you? I mean, he's always playing at a high level. He's always playing hard and trying to get every inch he can on every run, but I noticed a little bit more jump in his step against his old teammates.
You get the feeling he's had this one circled. Up against Hamilton, as mentioned, had over a 1,000-yard rusher 2 years ago with the Tiger Cats after coming over from the Lions. But then things faded last season and ends up back here in BC. First and goal at the Hamilton 8. Nathan Rourke. Butler fakes to him, keeps it, runs it inside the 5, looking for the pylon. Stepped out earlier, back at the 3 or 4 yard line for Rourke. So 2nd and goal coming up. Still picks up 5 yards.
He's run 22 times for an 8-yard average, so it's never a bad decision, but he gets the corner and then just steps on the white line, I believe. Because had he not stepped right there, well, the left foot was definitely on the white stripe before he extended.
So close for Rourke, but a 2nd and goal coming up, and he takes a break. Short yardage now. Jeremiah Masoli is in. BC only 14 points in the first quarter. Masoli, Butler, touchdown. Oh, Butler will take that, won't he? James Butler against his old squad. An early initiative after the turnover by the BC Lions.
Points off turnover is big. You get the momentum, sudden change, good field position, and yeah, just watch the celebration to figure out whether or not James Butler had this one circled in his calendar.
You can see it. Got that right.
Still celebrating big time.
This means a little bit more. You can tell he doesn't have to say it. So 4 plays and 19 yards.
We got it out of him in the Zoom. We got it out of him.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk more about that as the game goes on. But, yeah, you can be sure it means a whole lot to him. So after that fumble by the Ticats, the Lions make them pay. This is how it started out in the opening possession for Hamilton. Bo Levi Mitchell to Keaton Brugling. Good defensive work here by BC and Robert Carter to strip the ball. They take over. They cash in. Butler does it. 7-0 BC. Place for the first meeting of the season between the Lions and Tiger Cats and BC with that man, ex-Ticat James Butler.
guy.
With the touchdown off the turnover, so the Lions kick off on the return, and it's Jonathan Moxey with the ball. Gets a good return too. 31 yards on that return by Moxey, up around the 49 for Bo Levi Mitchell to come back on.
Yeah, real good field position to start this drive, and that's what he's done the last 4 games. I mean, this is year 14. Start 147 for Bo Levi Mitchell in his Hall of Fame career. And, you know, I think what's maybe most impressive of the numbers you're looking at right now, obviously 4-0 is what matters most, but the 10 touchdowns to just 1 pick. That touchdown interception ratio, he is protecting the football while going after defenses.
Has been very sharp first third of this season for Scott Milanovich as they sorted things out last year after Milanovich benched him at one point in Montreal after Taylor Powell, the backup, got hurt. It was Mitchell coming back in, and it just was different. The chemistry, everything about it, as Mitchell adjusted and into the Milanovich system, started to take off. He was in the running for MOP for the Ticats, even though they didn't make the playoffs. Had a very good year and a great start so far here. 1st and 10. Greg Bell, the running back, takes that short pass and makes something out of it. A late flag comes out as he has first down yardage inside the BC zone.
Holding. Hamilton number 88. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Tyler Charnowski is flagged for the hold. That negates that pickup.
He's still trying to argue his case as he goes back to the huddle. But he is in that number 2 spot to the 3 receiver side with Lawler underneath trying to find a block. See the takedown. He thought he got taken down.
Loses the argument, pushes them back 10 more yards, and a 1st and 20 now inside their 40. Greg Bell back in the lineup after missing 3 games with a calf injury. Mitchell with time. Deep shot. Gets it to Tim White. And a big play for the Ticats offense to get it all the way down near the 35 of BC.
Well, in the first few plays of this game, the BC defense has been playing their secondary way off. Now, this was second plus, so more than 10. So there's that usually happens where your DBs will give the receivers a little bit more room, but there are some gaping holes in this zone defense early on after a 35-yard gain by Tim White.
White coming in. Second receiver on Hamilton behind Lawler at 348 yards coming in, and add 35 to that total for White down to the 36 BC. Here comes Hamilton, and Greg Bell tripped up, gets about 3 yards. Bell, as mentioned, came on after James Butler was injured last year and did so well. They ultimately stuck with him.
Brendan Borner missed the last 2 games. He is back at left tackle, and that means their offensive line back intact. The other 4 guys of the 5 have played every game, and there he is. What a story he has been in the season he is enjoying right now. Kenny Lawler, can he keep pace? Touchdown record held by our very own Milt Stegall, sitting in every time he's watching a Hamilton game, he's going, oh, come on.
Yeah. Well, even today coming in, he forgot his own name. Who is it? Who is it? Whose record is he chasing? Some guy used to play okay in Winnipeg, right, Milt? Here we go, 2nd and 6. Mitchell at the time, completes it. No, Giovanni Robinson had it. Coverage coming across there, but it was Blaylock, but Robinson could not hang on, so a 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a new Travion Blaylock is playing in there for Jalen Edwards Cooper at halfback, and talking to Mike Benavides, the defensive coordinator, this week about Blaylock. He said he's physical. So one thing, he's young, and he's playing against Bo Levi Mitchell. That's going to be a challenge, but he is physical.
He has the longest consecutive field goals made streak in the history of the Hamilton Tiger Cats at 30, 15 for 15 this season. Here's Mark Leggio, 40 yards away. And make that 16 for 16 as the streak improves to 31 for Leggio. And so, Hamilton answers back with a field goal after the James Butler touchdown to open things up. Yeah, he's fired up. And BC is about to get the ball back, leading 7-3. It's not the first time James Butler has come into this stadium motivated to take on an old team. It happened 2 years ago when he was with Hamilton. And he made the Lions pay. He had a touchdown rushing, a touchdown receiving. There he is at a shotgun, taking it in. Fired up this time the other way around. Let's head down and say hello to Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, thanks, Rod. You got to go back to last season when the Ticats were 2-7 at the time. James Butler got benched. Bo Levi Mitchell got temporarily benched. And at the time, Butler said he understood that it was just part of the business. He knew that he was going into the last year of his contract. Greg Bell was younger. But when we pressed him, he admitted he had this game circled on his calendar. So much so, his mom, Cornelia, is here from Chicago. She had this game circled as well. But, you know, he talked about the fact that when that went down last year, he felt like his career was over. He felt like he was an afterthought around the league. So when the Lions gave him an opportunity, he wanted to take full advantage. But he says, if you thought I was upset for that game, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, Farhan, you can really see it just talking to him. And he has a touchdown already, and there's a completed pass from Rourke to Hatcher. And Butler with 8 yards rushing in this game, but he does have that touchdown. You see the reaction to it. And along the ground, see what he's done so far. Now second to Dedrick Mills, but right up there in rushing in the CFL.
Yeah, came in leading, and then they just played different number of games, but now they're all at 7.
Here's Rourke with time, dancing around, escapes the pocket on this 1st and 10 at midfield. And he takes off. He's still going. First down. Waltzes into the Ticats zone and down to the 35.
Yeah, it was great when we were talking to James Butler, and he was just trying to be so professional with all of us. He was trying to go, you know what, it's a game. I was happy to get back here with Nathan. That was a big part of the decision, but as Farhan mentioned, he thought, is this it for my career? And I think for him to get out in there and get a block for his quarterback against his old teammates, and then finally, I think it was Farhan.
It was.
Finally said, come on.
Yeah.
You're not, and then he went off.
Yeah. I was being diplomatic, and he was being diplomatic back then. Farhan got the truth from him.
There's
Here we go again. Keeps his feet inside the 20, inside the 15.
Here we
James
go.
Butler is running hard, and Mom is loving it. 23 more yards for the ex-Ticat.
Yeah, got a big block for his quarterback on that long run to get him plus territory. And how about this? Little jump cut there, bounce back to the inside. Takes on a couple of tacklers, and Mom, come on, son. Here we go. I can relive. She's going, come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's fantastic.
I'm sure she once had a Ticat uniform, but I have no idea what's happened to it now. All Lions with the 7-3 lead, and James Butler, big part of that. Heading down near the Ticat zone. Second time in the red zone. Faking to Butler, rolling out to the right as Rourke completes that one. And that's down to the 5. That's Riley Pickett, the fullback, with a rare touch to get it down to the 5-yard line.
After that run by James Butler, now play action means a lot to the defense. Now the defense is keyed on that little play action fake right there. That pulled the D-line right to James Butler, opens up the roll for Nathan Rourke, and he gets it out there to Riley.
For his first catch of the season in his 4th year out of the University of Saskatchewan. So Brent Monson and that Ticat defense getting challenged again. The last time it was after a turnover. This time the Lions have had to work their way down the field a little bit more. 2nd and 3 at the Hamilton 5. Does it again. Touchdown Lions. 2nd touchdown, James Butler.
There's 2 for Mom.
His revenge game, and so far he's feeling it.
Yeah, off to a good start, and that run by Nathan Rourke with the block from Butler equally as important in this drive. But with regards to our storytelling, that worked out pretty well.
It sure did. I mean, we were wondering how this would it play out like 2 years ago, and so far it has. He came in with Hamilton with a grudge against the Lions and had a big day, a couple of touchdowns. He already has 2 for BC against Hamilton. Sean White, and the point after. And it is 14-3 BC Lions. James Butler accounting for both touchdowns. There's number 2 from 5 yards away. How's Mom feel about that so far? You be the judge. We've talked a lot about James Butler so far. We expect to talk a lot about this guy, too, at some point. Kenny Lawler and what he has done so far this season.
Well, leads in yards, and as I mentioned, was a game behind the second place in that category, which was Keon Hatcher here for the BC Lions. And Keon had that game in hand. But Kenny Lawler, I heard Coach LaPolice back in the studio talking about wanting to watch tonight what the Lions do defensively. So we'll look at that as well.
Little reverse here into the hands of Isaiah Wooden.
That's up.
Finds the edge. BC was kicking away from him. They kicked it to Jonathan Moxey, and little toss. And got it. And a good play for a 44-yard return for the Ticats for Isaiah Wooden. There's Mike Benavides, defensive coordinator for the BC Lions, and talking about Kenny Lawler and what they plan to do.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with the defensive coordinator for BC, our former colleague, and Mike Benavides, and his defense. There's a newcomer, well, not a newcomer, but returning to the lineup who's injured in Hendricks. Back in the linebacking core, Deontay Williams, another physical player that is learning that position. And there's Blaylock. Already made one play, causing an incompletion.
Also had the final recovery, too, in the fumble. It's Greg Bell on the carry, too. And gets it up further into the Lions zone inside the 50. The Ticats in an early hole now. 14-3 they trail late in the first quarter.
But as Coach mentioned, I'm watching what the Lions want to do. Sometimes, I heard that they may want to sometimes, especially on second down, flop Robert Carter over to Kenny Lawler. Now that causes a whole bunch. It can cause a whole bunch of confusion in your back end, especially with young guys like Blaylock back there.
See what they do here in a 2nd and 5 in the BC zone. Mitchell, lots of time, going to the right. It is caught a first down, and guess who's got it? Kenny Lawler. They go after him, his first target, and he has a big catch to get Hamilton deeper.
Yeah, and I expect to see more zones than man. Lawler's the wide receiver. It's more difficult you can double team him out there, but it's a little more difficult than double teaming a slot back. And so they leave him in basically that deep look with, it is, in this case, Robert Carter. But, I think Bo Levi Mitchell, if he sees any type of one-on-one, a zone going to a one-on-one or a one-on-one matchup, no matter who it is, Gary Peters on one side or Robert Carter, he's going to go to Lawler.
He said that on his big catch, that great touchdown catch by Lawler a couple of weeks ago against Ottawa, that saw just the one-on-one coverage and just went to him. Here's Bell. Tucks it back inside, gets it inside the 20 on that first down play. Greg Bell back in, as mentioned, after missing 3 games.
And I won't be surprised to see Hamilton run the ball here probably more than normal for Scott Milanovich, in that the Lions rank last in the league against the run defensively. So, when you look at those numbers, it just makes sense to test that run defense, see if they can hold up, especially on first down, and opens the playbook for Bo Levi Mitchell, as we've said many times.
It's the deepest the Ticats have gone. Inside the 20. 2nd down and 2, and Bell, and coming up. Well, they were solid against the run that time. The leading tackler in the CFL, Micah Alway, comes in.
Yeah, Micah Alway with a big hit, and Dwayne Hendricks is going to help with that run defense and trying to make improvements in that area for Mike Benavides' group, because Hendricks is the big man in the middle. He's a defensive tackle, and kind of like an offensive line for a quarterback, a defensive line can really help a middle linebacker scrape to the football. So when you have Dwayne Hendricks taking up all the double teams and the big-on-big blocks up front, then Micah Alway can flow to the football and get to Greg Bell.
3rd and 2, and the Ticats are going for it. 19-yard line. 32 seconds left in the opening quarter. And Mitchell's going to throw on 3rd and 2. Deflected at the line of scrimmage, but it is caught anyway for a first down by Tim White. Alertly grabs it, and a good break for the Ticats after it was deflected at the line, and they still get what they need. 6-yard gain.
Well, it worked. It worked. But I don't know about this decision. I mean, I'm taking the points that deep, but I get it. You know, you're down the scoreboard by a couple of scores, and you want to try to, in 3rd and 2, show some confidence in your offense and your veteran quarterback to deliver, but that was close.
It was Hendricks who got his hand up to deflect that ball, but to no avail. Final play of the first quarter. Hamilton pressing. Back on the ground. This time it's Johnny Augustine inside the 5, still on his feet. They're pushing it down to about the 2. Augustine, who got a lot more touches with the injury to Bell these last few weeks, gets his first chance here at BC Place, and he gets them close, 11 yards. And the second quarter will begin with a 1st and goal coming up here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have fallen down early, thanks in large part to that man with his mom cheering him on. Butler, 2 touchdowns. BC has the lead. Ticats are threatening. Through one quarter all season long, the BC Lions had a total of 14 points. They've done that in one game here. First quarter leading Hamilton by a score of 14-3.
Yeah, and I think we're matching scores when you look at both of these offenses and both quarterbacks, starting receivers, top running backs like James Butler, except for the self-inflicted issues from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A fumble that gave the Lions real good field position in that first touchdown, and, you know, just a drop pass that ended a drive on Bo Levi Mitchell in one of the second drives of the game for the Ticats. So other than those self-inflicted wounds, we probably have a 14-all game.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, Hamilton's they can move the ball. They're showing that. They got a 1st and goal to start the second quarter, the 7th play of the drive. And so BC's defense being tested now. They have the 14-11 lead, but here come the Ticats. Right down at the 2. Greg Bell again. Nowhere to run. Loses a couple. Good pressure in the inside. See Christophe Beaulieu in there, but good work in the defensive front for BC.
Yeah, Mike Benavides raved about Christophe Beaulieu and his young season starting in his 2nd year in the Canadian Football League. 3rd-round draft pick by BC back in 24, and said this guy's playing at an all-star level.
See, Jonah Tavai was the one, the tackle inside that also stopped Greg Bell. So push back to the 5 for a 2nd and goal after that 3-yard loss. Call it the 4. Mitchell to pass, under pressure, gets away. He's going to take off, and he gets down to the 1. So we got a 3rd down coming up. He does get 3, but still not in, and a big 3rd and goal coming up here.
Scott Milanovich will go for this. There's no question about that. He doesn't run very often. But I don't think that ball crossed the plane, no.
So some big guys are coming in now on a 3rd and goal, Ticats. And for Milanovich and Hamilton, 2nd time in this drive, they've gone for it on 3rd down.
This is where the leading tackler in the league coming into this game tonight, Micah Alway, tries to go up over the top, short yardage.
Jake Dolegala is the quarterback. And the tall QB lunges across, breaks the plane, and the Ticats have their first touchdown of the game. Dolegala in for short yardage. Touchdown, Ticats.
Well, down here, it's about who gets lowest, except for those linebackers coming over the top. And Mike Alway did exactly that, but Dolegala got underneath it. Get Alway number 3. He's going to time this up, come up over the top, and then just miss. Because Dolegala got underneath him. He couldn't grab the shoulder pads. Dolegala gets in.
They remember him here. He had 1 year here with the Lions last year, starting his career with Saskatchewan, had a couple of years with the Riders. And 6'7" tall, lunging across, using that body to pick up the first touchdown for the Ticats. Point after pending here for Mark Leggio. Hamilton needed that after all the momentum established by James Butler, Nathan Rourke, and the BC Lions. Back they come. Finished off here. Jake Dolegala with his first touchdown of the year.
Welcome back to BC Plays. This is a great touchdown drive by Bo Levi Mitchell and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Goes 9 plays, 53 yards. That was a third down conversion, tipped at the line, but they got it done. Scott Milenovich having confidence in his offense to convert on third down, not once, but twice in this drive with Dolegala on third down, scoring from the 1-yard line.
For Jake Dolegala, his second rushing touchdown back starting some games with Saskatchewan in 2023. So closer game now. 4-point lead BC after the Ticats touchdown. 7 McGee at the 30. And good open field special teams tackle there by Brian Cole. So the Lions will start at their own 31 for Nathan Rourke.
Last 3 games for Nathan Rourke, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, all 300-yard games. Again, talking about that game against Saskatchewan, felt like there was some technique that he wanted to work on through the week, his off shoulder and how he aims at the receiver, and constantly working on the nuance of the game.
And yet he had a couple of beautiful touchdown passes in that game. One to Eberhard. On the ground, James Butler breaks through again. Oh, he's having himself a day. As Julian Hauser's the last one there to finish off the tackle, but 17 more yards for James Butler. Already has a couple of touchdowns.
Well, it's blocked up nicely at the line of scrimmage by the O-line. It's the big group, so there's an extra blocker in, and that's a nice cut back there. And then it's a one-on-one, and as a DB, that's a bad position to be in when you're Jamal Peters, and you got all that space, 65 yards wide of field, and a top running back. Just what you're trying to do is flush them to your teammates.
5 carries, 53, couple of touchdowns, averaging over 10 yards a carry. No, this game doesn't mean any more than the other ones. Little fake. Rourke. Butler again. Loses the ball. Hamilton has it. And on the return, it's Jonathan Moxey. Still inbound, finally out. But this time, the big turnover goes Hamilton's way as Butler couldn't hang on after that reception there for Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, there was contact at the line of scrimmage when James Butler tried to get out into the flat on that route. He gets hit early, which was legal, and then gets out there, catches the ball. Nathan gave him a second. And I think they're just making sure.
After the interception, holding, Hamilton number 1. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's first down, Hamilton.
Well, not quite as good field position, but they will take possession of the ball. So Butler's going to come out into the flat here, and he gets hit initially right there. And so Nathan Rourke's waiting for him, give him an extra second, then give it to him. And both fumbles, one by Hamilton early in this game, giving Nathan Rourke good field position, and that one by James Butler, those are takeaways. Not mistakes by the offense, but takeaways by the defense.
And it was rookie middle linebacker Devin Verisak forcing the fumble by James Butler. So with the penalty, they'll scrimmage a little further back, but still in the Lions zone at the 35. There's Jonathan Moxey. Started his career with the Calgary Stampeders.
You good?
Last few seasons with the Ticats on that return. So back to the 40-yard line.
Let me know when they live. Yeah, boom.
Devin Verisak just keeps making plays. That middle linebacker spot.
Great pickup in the draft for Hamilton, second overall. Ticat football, trailing by 4. Mitchell has all day to get rid of it. Off to the right, it's caught.
You got one guy.
And a first down, right down to the 32 for Shamar Bridges. Hamilton's top rookie in 2024, not getting targeted as many times this year.
Well, it's the reason they call it takeaways, giveaways. You know, when you just drop it basically on your own, or you don't catch it, it bounces up, it's intercepted. Those are giveaways. The offense has made a mistake, it's a giveaway. Now, James Butler feels responsible, obviously, but Versek made that play. He tackled not only the tailback, but the football as well, and knocked it out of there.
So on that catch by Bridges, they're down to the 27. Early second quarter. 14-10 BC, but here comes Hamilton in scoring range again. And Mitchell has time. And he completes that one, too. Down, that's Brooklyn again, who had the catch earlier and the fumble, and down to about the 23. So about a 4-yard pickup. Second down coming up.
That's a couple of plays made by Christophe Beaulieu down low. I bring it up because if you're bringing your safety down low, we might see a little bit of Jackson Finley, who is a backup safety, but a defensive back that can rotate in a lot of different positions. He's dressed it on the roster for the Lions as well. But if you're bringing your safety that low, that can open up things in the middle for guys like Kenny Lawler.
The BC 23 and a 2nd and 6. Over the middle and wide open is Tim White. Has it down inside the 15. Another first down to about the Lions 12. So here we go. As Mitchell mixing it up, 11-yard gain, and as said, over the middle he had White in a nice soft spot in the zone open.
Now on the fumble and the sudden change, to win it now, the sudden change, Bo Levi Mitchell's got to score the major. For the defense to win on the sudden change, they got to hold them to a field goal.
So second trip inside the 20 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And bouncing back nicely after that explosive start by BC. Turnover helping them as well. Looking to cash in the way that the Lions did in the first quarter. From the 12, high snap. And it is dumped off to Keandre Smith. It was a good pickup inside the 5. Upended there. First catch of this game for Keandre Smith, down to about the 4-yard line.
I think Ronald Kent Jr. slipped trying to get to this flat route. There it comes from the backfield, and he just stumbles a little bit and can't get there in time to limit this gain.
Gain of 8 yards, Keandre Smith. Head over heels. He had a big catch last week to set up a touchdown. The winning points for the Ticats last week in Ottawa. Veteran of the University of Guelph. So down at the 4. It's a 2nd and 2. Ticats threatening again. Mitchell to the end zone, no. Looking for Smith again. Good coverage there by BC. It went too far. Third down, field goal unit coming on.
That time Hamilton moved Kenny Lawler into the slot back position. Lawler is right in here. He started out as a wideout, and then they changed motions, so he gets inside. Just wanted to see what he did, because they brought in Gary Peters to go with him, and then Lawler, they'd see after he ran that deep dig route, Peters just dropped him. Just keeping my eye on number 89.
Yeah.
And what the Lions are going to do to try and limit him.
The Lions got to keep their eye on him, too. So Mark Leggio, most consecutive field goals made in the history of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 1 for 1. Make that 2 for 2 and make that 32. That matches the 4th best streak all time in a tie that way. Oh, what a gorgeous look. In Vancouver, BC. Beautiful Sunday night for football. Nathan Rourke has gotten a lot of praise, understandably, but he certainly has one big critic. That is Nathan Rourke. Let's go back to Farhan.
Yeah, guys, I asked Nathan before the season, where are the areas that you want to grow the most after what was a challenging season last year? And he said, honestly, I want to take myself less seriously. The thought of him being the face of the league or the face of the franchise, those are things he doesn't want to think about anymore, and he wants to give himself some grace. Well, it's still a work in progress. This is Rourke about 30 minutes after the last game last week, a loss to the Riders. He just stared out into space for virtually half an hour. He was so angry after that game, and he just says to himself that it's going to take some time. It matters so much to him. He's been getting support from his teammates. He's getting support from his family. He's trying to let it go a little bit more than he has been. Buck Pierce told me that there are times when we have conversations where I've got to get him to stop talking about football, change the subject matter, but he is seeing some growth. And there was a moment in walkthrough a couple of days ago where the ball fell on the ground after a low snap. Normally he would have picked it up in panic. Instead, he just fell to the ground and started laughing. That's a big deal for Nathan Rourke, to not pick that ball up and try to do something even in a walkthrough.
And Farhan, it's interesting because you can see, I remember him talking about that too, how he wanted to loosen up a bit, but just an intense competitor.
Well, you know, he really is. And I talked about the detail and the nuance of the game and the fundamentals of the quarterbacks. And this is not unique to Nathan. I mean, every quarterback in the league has to be detail-oriented. I mean, you have to in that position. There's no question. But I started asking him about the Hamilton defense and what they might present. And he said, you know, I have a whole book on Brent Monson, just as a coordinator.
Yes.
You know, the Hamilton defense is one thing, and yeah, we break down the video, but I have a book on every defensive coordinator in the league. And, you know, that's the type of the depth and the level of detail he's getting into.
In fact, saying really, he's more fixed on the defensive coordinators going up against him as opposed to the players. It's fascinating. Carl Meyer to punt after a 2-and-out. James Butler carries, but still in the 3rd and 2 and a 50-yard punt. And the return by Isaiah Wooden. We got a close one here. 14-13 is the score. BC still on top. Get ready for the NFL's Pro Football Hall of Fame game as the Chargers go up against the Detroit Lions. You can tune into that one. That is Thursday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN.
And I say it every year, and I'm going to say it again this year. It's okay that we like both.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Both leagues. It's good. It's good to love both.
Yeah,
NFL is on its way. That's excellent.
Starting this drive down outside their 20, and Bo takes off and picks up a running first down there for a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, real sort of umbrella look for the BC defense. So he's taken off a couple of times in this game already. Only had 4 carries in their first 6 games, but you can see some of the milestones. He's just rewriting records now. He's just Doug Flutie next on the list.
I said he'd need 520 today if he wants to get it done today. That
probably next week, but you never know. I mean, he can get on a roll. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
102 yards already.
102, but on the ground now, Greg Bell back in the Hamilton lineup. And running well there, close to another first down, in fact, for the Ticats.
Yeah, an area that the Lions really have to improve upon is their run defense. And, you know, Greg Bell is having himself a game, too. Maybe not quite at the level of James Butler just yet, but he's had some nice runs.
Well, and Butler, by the way, did say when we talked to him, I mean, you know, maybe a grudge match against the organization, but certainly not against Bell. He had a lot of respect for him. He understood. Yeah. You know, and Bell had played well. And when Butler had been hurt and when he was ready to go again, they were going with Bell. Gets the first down there. And Mitchell, he puts it off to Johnny Augustine, who up against Ben Olatic there. And that matchup gets close to another first down, about a 10-yard pickup there for Augustine.
Yeah, and both Greg Bell and Johnny Augustine can catch the ball out of the backfield. You think back to last year, you know, one of the things that Butler brings in a big way for Nathan Rourke and did last year for Bo in Hamilton was catching the ball out of the backfield. But both these backs they have now can do it equally as well. I mean, Greg Bell can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's done it 15 times this year. And when he took over for Butler last year, he had over 30 catches out of the backfield.
Jake Dolagallo has a touchdown in this game. Is in at short yardage. On that second down play, lunges across at midfield and an easy first down to keep this drive going for the Tiger Cats.
Well, clearly what the Tiger Cats have to do offensively here, Rod, is to be patient. You know, I think right now the Lions are defensively trying to play an umbrella look. They get deep help on Lawler and guys like Tim White to make sure that they do not give up the explosions. And then they're going to live with some of these runs or live with the quick game and the flat routes to the backs or to a wide receiver.
We're at the BC 53.5 now. 1st and 10. And it's back to Bell. And a good tackle there as he was really looking to break through. Kamoko Toure got him around the ankles and made sure he didn't get any further, but still 6 more yards for Greg Bell, who in 8 games last year had 625, an easy 1,000-yard pace.
Good block on Mike Alway. Got to block him. Have success in the run game.
Ticats moving the ball again. Getting further into that Lions zone. Getting down 3:20 to go until halftime. Looking for a chance to take their first lead. Deep shot. Coverage there. They're looking for Lawler one-on-one with Gary Peters, but that goes a bit too far, and the coverage was good. Incomplete. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
2 veterans going at it. Gary Peters, who's, by his standards, had a slow start to the season. There's the matchup on the outside, and Peters going to come up and challenge. A little bit of a bump before they get in this foot race, and that ball thrown to the outside shoulder. Lawler had got inside position on Peters. We're watching the matchups. No flop in the corners there with Robert Carter and Gary Peters.
Those two would know each other well from the rivalry between the Bombers and the BC Lions in previous years. Nick Constantino to punt for the first time in this game, tied for first in net punting average at just under 40. The Aussie Constantino, and this one coming in is Seven McGee to take it inside the 15, a punt of 33 yards as they tried to place him in deep in their zone on that return. Getting late in an interesting first half. Early initiative by BC, but the Ticats did come back. We got a 1-point ball game, 2:49 to go.
Milt, who made the grand pronouncement, we're going to see 70 points scored in this game. We're at 27, just below. Are you sticking with it?
Oh, without a doubt. We just need one more touchdown. That'll put it back on pace, so I'm good with it.
There you go.
Is Kenny Lawler going to score the touchdown is the question, though.
All right, well, that does it for us. We'll see you at the half. Send it back to Ryan.
All right, Laura, 85 wants offense. Wants some points. Got 27 so far. Halftime coming up, and there's Keon Hatcher. Lions leading receiver. Broke a tackle, kept going, and finally down at the 15. He had a chance to take it all the way. Great play, great yardage after the catch for Keon Hatcher.
Straight seam route for, excuse me, hang on 1 second. Let's get it right. There he is on the inside. And it's a straight seam route for Keon Hatcher. Splits the zones and away he goes. 73 yards, Keon Hatcher. Well, he came in 3rd behind Amande Coxie and, of course, Lawler. And he's over 100 yards receiving in this game, moving up fast. 1st and 10. Faking the handoff, and Rourke. Reggie Stubblefield comes in and takes him down at around the 13.
Tackle after game 3. Second up.
Yeah, nice redirect up front. I believe it was Hewart who is going to redirect, look at James Butler, and then contain Nathan Rourke from getting outside. Flush him right underneath to his teammate Stubblefield,
who's in his 3rd game as a Hamilton Tiger Cat, injured with the Alouettes in their opener last year. Severe knee injury, took him 400 days between games, and loving being back playing football with a new team. 2nd and 9, Rourke to the end zone. It is caught, but it's out of bounds. No touchdown. Justin McInnes getting targeted there and not able to stay in bounds. So the field goal unit will come on.
That's the other thing about points in this game. The field goal kickers haven't missed this year.
Yeah. Leggio for Hamilton and Sean White for the Lions. It's been great performances on very reliable kickers, and BC relying on Sean White now from a shorter distance. Well, he is the second all-time in consecutive field goals made at 47. That ended last year. And he's on another little run now, too, of 26 straight. Leggio came in with 30 straight. He's 2 for 2. So Sean White, first field goal attempt, up and through. Expect no less. Under 2 minutes to go, 1:47 on the clock, and once again the Lions have a 4-point lead.
That last play with Bo Levi Mitchell going to the end zone to Kenny Lawler when he was working on Gary Peters, the end of that play, he was shaking that left hand. And as he walked off, he went into the medical tent. He took another look at it, and the left hand, it almost looked like he thought Peters might have a chance to intercept that ball. So he swung that left hand, maybe caught his face mask or something like that, because it looked like his finger is a little out of whack. Went into the medical tent, came out with some tape on the finger, and he's back in there. Long way from his heart. He's good.
Hand's a valuable piece of equipment, too, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the way he's been using both of them so far. Hamilton ball late in the half, down by 4, and Mitchell going back to work to Keandre Smith up near midfield and a first down.
Now this has happened before. You go back to that game early in the year against Toronto, and he also had a hand issue there. And as you just mentioned, it's such an important piece of equipment for a receiver, but doesn't seem to bother him.
He had 3 touchdowns in that game, over 200 yards receiving.
Yeah.
There's Keandre Smith, who's getting more attention right now in this second quarter. Another catch for him as they're working it down. A gain of 7, 2nd and 3 coming up. 1:26 on the clock.
Yeah, lots of time to get into at least field goal range, but Bo Levi Mitchell's thinking more than that. You can guarantee that. But need the first down to keep it going. Out of field goal range now, I would suggest, although it would be about a 57-yarder.
Trying to get it a little bit closer, at least, as you said. Thinking end zone. Down 4. Running game. Greg Bell. Lots of room to the right. He cuts it back up, too. Another good pickup by Bell as he's inserted back in this Hamilton lineup. And an easy first down to around the 40 of the Lions. A definite field goal range.
Yeah, Scott Milanovich is going to keep leaning on Greg Bell in this run game until the Lions do something about it. I mean, always catching him there, but that's already after 10 yards. And if they keep getting the linebackers closer to the line of scrimmage, that's when Bo starts to go play action.
1:09 on the clock. Mitchell, lots of time. Deep shot again. Come on. What a pick by Robert Carter. A Brendan O'Leary orange. Oh, my goodness, what a catch by Carter. And the drive ends there.
Did he catch that? Wow.
Just a crazy pick by the rookie out of Robert Morris in Pittsburgh.
Sports Center, get ready. Wow. This is an unbelievable catch.
Oh, my
You
goodness.
gotta be kidding me.
One hand. Suits, he had one at Robert Morris in his college days that went viral. Can look it up. But he had a one-handed pick. And here he does it in the CFL. It's amazing.
This ain't new. You do this shit. This ain't new. This ain't new. The world just not seeing that shit.
You hear this ain't new. It's true because he did have that viral play in college. But oh my goodness, that's crazy. Robert Carter. And now James Butler. Back to you.
There's time for field goal range.
16 yards, lots of time. They're up across the 45. Now the tide has turned so quickly.
Let's go back. I might just call for this play a few times before this game is over to take another look at it, because, man, that is some kind of athletic play. First of all, climbing the ladder as high as he did and then bringing it down with just the one hand. Wow, what a catch.
Secures it with one hand. Interception in the end zone. Back to Butler.
Okay, one more time. Let's go.
Why not? I'm not going to get tired of watching this. Ticats might.
Just up over a tall receiver in O'Leary Orange and didn't even bring the right hand in at all. Didn't need it.
O'Leary Orange must have been thinking, that's my ball. What'd you just do?
Oh, man.
Holy smokes, that's amazing. Yeah, Robert Carter.
Nice.
The 49 clock ticking, though, 21 seconds now. Rourke trying to get him in range. This will help. Keon Hatcher down to the 46.
Longest this year for Sean White is 47. This would be a little longer than that. They want to get at least 5 to 8. Got to be efficient here now.
Another quick hitter.
There it is.
There they get it. Inside the 40, the 35, down to the 31. It's Justin McInnes, and on comes, right now, the most accurate kicker, highest percentage in the history of the Canadian Football League. Sean White, who, remember joking with him about Louis Pasaglia playing to, what, 45? And White wants to do that, too. Wants to keep going. They're going to run another play here. 7 seconds. They have time. A little bit closer for White. A chance to increase the lead to 7 points.
Just giving Sean White a little bit more breathing room, not taking a little pressure off him for this shorter kick. But you can tell Nathan Rourke completely understood the time on the clock. He had 7 seconds, had to get rid of it immediately.
A few weeks ago in Montreal, they worked that to perfection. Yeah. Keon Hatcher got down, or Javon Catoy, excuse me, and
0.1 second.
Just enough, yeah, just enough for White to have the walk-off winner. And that victory in Montreal. Here's White again. From the 32. Perfect. As White's streak continues. 2 for 2 on the night and 28 straight now. So when it looked like Hamilton might be looking to take the lead late in this half, instead it was BC off the interception by Carter coming back and getting a field goal to take the 7-point lead. Touchdowns for the ex-Hamilton Tiger Cat running hard, James Butler.
With Mom up in the stands, James Butler had a tremendous first half with a couple of TDs.
So he did, and his mom cheering him on. There she is, Cornelia, loving his return against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Let's go down to Farhan with James Butler.
Your mom looks pretty happy. You look pretty serious. 80 yards in that first half. Is it what you thought it would be?
I got to hang on to the ball. You know what I'm saying? But what's life without a little adversity? Put the defense in a bad spot, but they bailed me out. I got to give it to the O-line, the receivers, 12, the defense, teams. It's a whole team effort.
Including Robert Carter on defense. You ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. That's ESPN top 10 to TSN top 10.
We'll put it everywhere. Thanks for this, James.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Not over yet.
80 yards rushing in that first half. Let's send it to the panel. Here's Laura Dykin.
TSN, ESPN, you name it. We're going to see that for quite a while. James Butler, very modest there. All he wanted to talk about was the fumble that he lost. Doesn't really want to talk about the fact that his team has that 7-point lead right now, but kind of encapsulates what the first half was, because it was very entertaining, but we're still buzzing over that Carter interception.
Without a doubt. Let's give the CFL some love.
Yes.
This league that has done and meant so much to so many, including myself, because over the last couple of days, it's been getting rattled and people have been talking about what needs to be changed on social media. But this right here is a CFL football game. This what shows you the type of players in this league, how efficient this game has been. Almost over 450 yards total offense. 4 for 4 on field goals, only 3 penalties. Players making plays all over the place. Bo Levi Mitchell scrambling for yards. Bo Levi Mitchell hadn't scrambled since 2018 when he was in Calgary in the Grey Cup. And this play right here, this is not only the catch of the year, not only the interception of the year, maybe one of the greatest plays ever made in football history. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. So will every game be like this? No. But this league is special, and this first half right here showed you what this league is all about.
He used his full 5'9" frame, Robert Carter. And yeah, we've seen the Hamilton Ticats involved in these high-scoring affairs as we say adios to Paul LaPolice. Paul, so we know Bo Levi Mitchell, 11 for 15, 133 yards passing there in that first half. Kenny Lawler, just one catch for 21 yards, targeted only 2 times. This is something you touched on in our pregame. What has this defense been doing to lock him up so far?
There's a mixture of things they're trying to do to keep, to make sure Kenny Lawler can't get too many one-on-one matchup opportunities. Take a look at this first play. If you look up at the top of the screen, here's what happened. Okay, Kenny Lawler's at the top of the screen, but watch what happens as the halfback and the corner, as they start to work for a little bit of width, that opens up who? Tim White right in the middle. You can see the halfback favoring Kenny Lawler on that first play. Watch this one. The second play, man-to-man. Okay, Kenny Lawler's at the top of the screen. Now, the halfback is a little bit farther inside this time. Now he forces more of a one-on-one situation for Kenny. What does Bo do? He takes the one-on-one for the big explosive football play. In that scenario, there's one more I want you to look at. Underneath coverage. Trying to throw it underneath. Why? Because both the halfback and corner got depth. What I do like from the Hamilton Tiger Cats is their run game. They're rushing for over 80 yards so far this half. Johnny Onyxine got 11 yards per rush. So
come back.
I can walk back now?
Come back.
Okay,
Come
I wasn't
back.
sure.
Come back.
I wanted to keep talking about it. I like the big board.
You can't walk and talk?
I can walk and talk. It's the episode of The West Wing or Entourage. A lot of walk and talks. Okay?
Yeah.
The biggest thing I would say, like the run game's pretty impressive.
James
both
Butler.
teams. James Butler.
Yes.
Right? We've got 80 yards, almost 80 yards rushing from the Ticats too. So good stuff.
Yeah, James Butler only had 30 yards rushing last week, but last week was a long time ago as he has scored 2 touchdowns. This is just his 3rd time in his career he scored multiple rushing touchdowns in the same game. All right, our halftime will continue after this. We've got some highlights of what's already gone down in week number 8.
Welcome to Vancouver and BC Place, the first meeting of the season. Oh, it comes out. Keaton Bruckling had it. It is BC football. Butler. He does it again. Touchdown Lions. Running hard and Mom is loving it. Loses the ball. Hamilton has it. This time the big turnover goes Hamilton's way. What a pick by Robert Carter.
Well, week 8 started on Thursday night with the Alouettes and the Stamps. Late in the 3rd, Stamps at the lead. Vernon Adams Jr. on the run here, and this is not great. Takes a hit at the end, was slow to get up. Adams was assessed for a head injury, did not return, but barring any setbacks, this is the good news. He should be good to go next week in Ottawa. Let's go to the 4th quarter, lead down to 1, but Jose Maltos from 57 yards out, right down the middle. The Stamps failed to respond with VA out of action as the Alouettes get a big win on the road. Friday night, all eyes on Regina for the Elks and the Riders. Late in the 4th, Riders by 10. Cody Fajardo, first start of the season, finds Stephen Dunbar for the touchdown. The Elks entered the 4th down 17, but Fajardo makes it a 3-point game just like that. Dying seconds, the Elks get the ball back. Fajardo feeling the pressure, and he's got nowhere to go. As Shane Ray calls game, the Riders hang on to improve to a league best 6-1 on the season. And then last night, Bombers, Argos, this is the Grey Cup rematch. Early second, Argos down 1. Nick Arbuckle to Tavares Daniels, and that would put Toronto on top. Arbuckle's 2nd touchdown of the game. The Argos have won the last 3 meetings versus Winnipeg with Arbuckle at quarterback. Still in the 2nd quarter, Zach Collaros here, picked off by Cam Judge. The first of 2 picks for him on the night. He did not return for the 2nd half. 2nd week in a row, Collaros exited mid-game. The Argos hand the Bombers their 3rd straight loss and a big win for the Argos, who are now 2-5. Looking up in the standings at both Montreal and Hamilton, Ryan Dinwiddie after the game said that Chad Kelly would be placed on the 6-game IL. That was made official here today as he's still recovering from breaking his leg in the East final last year. So for the Argos trying to stay in this East picture, what does that news do for them?
Well, I think, first of all, they can still get where they need to be with Nick Arbuckle at quarterback. They almost beat Montreal. You think about that crazy game 2 weeks ago. They had the opportunity, had a good win last week. I'm a little concerned about their offensive line, Milt. They're losing so many starters and lose Ryan Hunter for the season. But certainly Chad Kelly, he certainly will create the big plays they've gotten earlier in this last year. You'd like to get him back, but I think they can climb their way back into these competition with Nick Arbuckle.
I believe in the Argos because of Ryan Dinwiddie. He's a special coach. A couple of years ago, he lost a bunch of his players. He got his team to the Grey Cup. Going to the Grey Cup, his star quarterback didn't play. He won with a guy, Nick Arbuckle. So as long as he's the coach, as long as they have that coaching staff, I believe in him. Yes, they are struggling, but if you saw what they did with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers the other day, that was a special performance. So as long as he's at the helm, they have an opportunity. Of course, you mentioned that offensive line. That could be critical, especially down the road when you have these bad weather games where you need to run the ball. Will they be able to do that? But they always have a chance as long as Ryan Dinwiddie is the coach.
I talked to somebody in the organization. They said, hey, listen, I know we're going to lose Chad for some time. Hey, we got to do our best. If we have to get into the playoffs as the last seed, wait for him to get there, get him healthy, then get in the playoffs. Then
Will Chad Kelly play again this year? If you were a betting man, I gave you $1 billion.
I don't bet, Milt. I'm not giving away my money.
Hurry up. Laura has to take it. Does he play this year? I say no.
No.
Okay. $1 billion on the line. This is Robert Carter Jr. in college. This was last season. Robert Morris University versus Utah State. Does it look similar?
History repeating itself.
I guess the only difference, it wasn't in the end zone, but impressive none the same. What a play by the rookie.
That's special.
Halftime at BC Place in Vancouver. We got a good one. The Lions lead the Ticats 20-13, over 450 yards of net offense, but there have been big plays on both sides of the football. Big ones on defense, like that late interception that we saw as well. Here's Farhan Alji now with Ticats middle linebacker Devin Verisak.
Devin, first want to ask you about that caused fumble and just how important it was to take away BC's momentum at that point of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's always big getting a forced fumble, getting a turnover for our team, and getting our offense good field position. And the fact they got one on us and be able to flip the field always helps.
Greg Bell, 80 yards rushing in that first half. Obviously a motivated player. Sorry, James Butler, I should say. Yeah. Just how do you handle him right now?
Yeah, we just got to be sound in our gaps and just stop the run. That's all we can do.
Thanks for this.
Yep, thank you.
Very good rookie for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, inserted in the middle, and Bo Levi Mitchell. His team is down 7 point, Suits, but hey, the way these offenses have been going as well, you just don't know what to expect.
Well, they get the ball in the second half to start this second half because the Lions won and took the ball to start the game. Didn't score on their first series, but when Ticats fumbled, they scored in the second.
Carl Meyer with the kickoff to start this second half. Isaiah Wooden, explosive returner. The 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown so far this season, a 34-yarder there. Bo Levi Mitchell, and look at what he did in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, the issues they had in the first quarter with self-destructing at times wasn't on him. I mean, his accuracy was there. That was a third down gamble. Got a little bit lucky because the tip ended up in Tim White's hands, but they finished that drive with a major, down by 1 possession, 7-point game, and got the ball first to start the second half.
He's thrown 1 pick, but that's about the nicest pick you could ever see by Robert Carter on the ground. And coming in for the tackle, Gary Peters, on that play, a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm not even putting that interception. No, there is no way that was a Bo Levi Mitchell issue on that throw. I mean, it was up and over the top to O'Leary Orange.
Incredible.
And Robert Carter just, well, we'll get to it again.
We will, I'm sure. Many will. That's going viral, to be sure. 20-13, second half underway. Lions lead at Ticats football. Up at their 48 and a 2nd and 7. Mitchell over the middle, wide open. Keandre Smith. First down around the 47 of the Lions, and a good start to the second half for Hamilton.
Yeah, Josh Woods was in a bit of a bind here. He has to make a decision as he drops back into his drop. If he takes the short route, Bo throws it in behind him. If he takes the deep one and stays back, he throws it to the short route. But you see he'll take that short route and move outside, and ball goes over the middle. Tough position to be in is that underneath linebacker.
DeAndre Smith, 4 catches, 44 yards.
Nice to see Josh Woods back in the lineup, though. Off that injury from last year.
1st and 10. Mitchell steps up. Going to run again. We've seen that happen a couple of times. Mitchell's 3rd carry, and it's still a 2nd and long coming up here for Hamilton.
I love Milt's line there. Bo Levi Mitchell hasn't thrown or run the ball like that since 2018 when he was a Stampeder.
Yeah.
Here. He had 4 rushes coming in 6 games. He's got 3 now. He's almost doubled it.
It's the new Bo. An opening to sit down, make the catch, take it inside the Lions 20.
If there's an over, there's an under, and there's Tim White in the slot back. He's the over route. You're going to see an under come underneath that right in here. So there's an under, there's an over, and there's probably a post behind it too, and that's why Christophe Beaulieu couldn't come up tighter on that dig route across the middle.
So White has 4 catches for 76 yards. And Hamilton is in business early in the second half. Opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Down to the 20 and a 1st and 10. Blitz coming. Gets rid of it. Wide open is Smith again. DeAndre Smith, another catch. And close to another 1st down. See where they mark his forward progress. Close to a 10-yard pickup for Smith.
Yeah, I think this play, though, I mean, DeAndre Smith gets it. But this is also to see what the Lions were going to do with Kenny Lawler on the backside. They left him back there in a one-on-one. This time it was with Ronald Kent. But I think they had a high player, too. So that's why Bo Levi Mitchell, and I'm sure Coach is loving this chess match that's going on back in the panel, Coach Lapo. They put Lawler by himself with 2 DBs.
So Dolegala is in. Short yardage again. This is a 2nd down and inches. Jake Dolegala will pick up the 1st down.
So, Coach, get ready, because I know Lapo's watching this real closely because he wants to see what the Lions are going to do defensively with this guy on a roll. So there's Lawler by himself into the boundary with 2 defenders, one over the top and one up in his face. And that's why the option for Bo Levi Mitchell is to throw it to the 3 receiver side. There's the open spot to DeAndre Smith. So the Lions double team in the backside, Kenny Lawler.
Lawler's only been targeted twice. He has 1 catch for 21. Smith, White, they've been targeted a lot more. DeAndre Smith, their leading receiver in catches, and White leading in yardage at 76. Here we go. 1st and goal at the BC 9. Mitchell steps up, takes off, no, passes it to Smith, and a touchdown for the Ticats. Looked like Mitchell was going to run again, and then shovels it off to DeAndre Smith to put them an extra point away from tying this game.
A little confusion on the BC defense there. They're not sure. The only question I have,
I know what you're, is was he over the line?
Were they close to the line? Was he close to the line of scrimmage when he made that? That's a forward pass.
I was wondering the same thing when he chose to shovel it off.
Now let's take a look, because it's on the 9-yard line was the snap of the ball. So it wasn't on the 10-yard stripe across there. That foot is okay on the 9 when he makes the pitch.
Wow, that's so close. As long as he's a foot in the line of scrimmage, he can pass it. He did. It's a touchdown pass. And the point after for Mark Leggio. And early second half, we've got a tie game. DeAndre Smith, the favorite target of this night for Bo Levi Mitchell, including that shovel into the end zone for 85.
Well, welcome back to one of those games where maybe the team that has the ball last that wins it, because this was a beautiful 7-play, 65-yard drive by Bo Levi Mitchell. Took up 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and then just ad-libbing down near the goal line to Keandre Smith for the touchdown, and we're all tied up.
Right back in it, tied at 20. Mark Leggio to kick it off with Robert Carter and Seven McGee back, but this is a shorter kick. McGee comes up to the 26 to take it. He is tackled at around the 35. So Nathan Rourke, 10 of 13 for 150 yards passing, and sees his team all of a sudden back in a 20-20 deadlock. Plenty of offense here at BC Place in Vancouver on a Sunday evening. Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, let's take a look at Nathan Rourke in the first half, Rod, because he was concerned with his accuracy in a couple of throws last week against Saskatchewan, but it's back, and so is he. Some excellent throws in that first half. This is a deep one to Keon Hatcher.
Now in a 20-20 tie and throwing in first down. Stanley Berryhill. He turns it up midfield and to the Ticat 50, and quickly Rourke and the Lions offense answering back.
Stanley Berryhill made this play by coming back to the football. It's a fundamental receiver drill that you do all the time in practice. You got to come back to the football. Don't wait for it and stay on your out. Come back towards the line of scrimmage, and that's what Berryhill does on Jamal Peters, because Peters cutting underneath, and he comes back 3 steps towards the ball, steals it from Peters, who thought he had a pick six, and a 25-yard gain.
Up to the 50 of Hamilton. James Butler, solid day against his old club. 80 yards heading into that carry for Butler.
Nathan Rourke on pace, when you looked at those first half numbers, for another 300-yard game. That would put him in elite company with 13 300-yard games in 25 starts, 52%. Look at those names. Jeremiah Masoli, by the way, the backup quarterback here in BC. AC, Doug Flutie at 58.3. Bigger sample size for Doug at this point.
Yep.
Nathan just starting his journey.
There's Jeremiah's had a couple of starts this season, but it's a very productive years with Hamilton. 2nd and 9, throwing again, and it's caught inside the 40. That's Javon Catoy with his first catch of this ball game and another BC first down.
Just so consistent, Javon Catoy. I say it every game, but I feel like he can explode and have multiple 1,000-yard seasons. He's just understanding the game, the spacing.
Rourke steps up under pressure. He will run down to the 30, but the 29 for Nathan Rourke, who's not afraid to tuck it in and take off. 6 yards for Rourke.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about the decision at the end of that as an excellent choice. And if all the other quarterbacks in the league are listening, get your butt down and hook slide. I was joking a little bit about Nathan, and I'm talking to all the quarterbacks, as you guys do throughout the week, and saying, hey, listen, you're ruining our shows when you guys get hurt.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Down to the 29 now. 2nd and 3. Backed up Butler. Pushing hard enough to get what looks to be another BC first down.
But in all seriousness, it's a long season. It's an 18-game regular season. We have elite quarterbacks in the league. We hope the best to get, Vernon Adams back in Calgary after taking that hit and not being able to finish. It sounds like it's good news there. We have some elite passers. And I think your team can live to survive another day if you hook slide short of the first down.
Better to see him on the field.
Exactly.
Sure, 1st and 10 quickly. That's McInnes. Justin McInnes, his 2nd catch of the night. The leading receiver in the Canadian Football League in 2024.
Yeah, and sort of hit and miss this year. I mean, he's done a nice job in those 2nd down catches. He has 10 of them in the money catches. So Rourke has found him, and so has Mazzoli when he played those 2 games. But The last couple of games, he had just one catch. So not a lot of targets.
Just a different pace than we saw last year, which was such a breakout season for Justin McInnis. Short yardage now. And Mazzoli is in to take it, and a flag comes out, needing to push it to about the 15, and looks like they had it, so we'll wait and see what this flag is.
We talked to Nathan about Justin McInnis, and, you know, are you looking, when you look back at games, are you looking to see if
Offside, Hamilton defensive line. It's a 5-yard penalty. That makes it a first down.
You know, if there's other ways to get him the football, and he basically said, no, there's been opportunities, and he went back to the SAS game, and as Farhan mentioned and how Nathan is, he was talking about, you know, how he missed him on a couple of throws that would have changed his numbers in a big way against Saskatchewan. So he said he's doing his thing. He's open. It'll eventually get there.
And with the penalty, pushes him 5 yards closer. So BC right back and threatening after the Hamilton touchdown. Tie game. Here come the Lions. Play action pass. Rourke running out of time. And they got him. Nathan Rourke gets sacked and pushes him back a little further now. First sack of this ball game.
Take a look where that pressure came from. It looked like it was a secondary blitz with Reggie Stubblefield. He blocks and then he adds in, or not blocks, but he sits there at the line of scrimmage and then adds in to the pressure, and he's the guy who finally gets there. He didn't see anybody get out of the backfield that he would have had to cover, so he just makes a split-second decision. I might as well go after the quarterback.
And you saw he lost the ball and got it back with Philip Osai chasing him down there as well. Hamilton 18, 2nd and 17. Almost a goal to go here for BC. It is caught at the 10 and down close to the 5. It'll still be a 3rd down, but they got a lot of that yardage back. Stanley Berryhill with the catch. 13-yard pickup.
And decision time for Buck Pierce. Like the quick decisions that Berryhill's making, that cutting underneath that Jamal Peters possible interception on the early catch in this drive, and then that one. But Coach Pierce deciding to kick the field goal.
So Sean White comes on. 2 for 2.
Which I believe to be a good decision.
Get that lead back.
What about you, Coach?
I agree. Yeah. At this stage of the game, they want to come away empty-handed. These offenses going back and forth. Look to get the lead again. Out and down and through for the ageless Sean White. 3 for 3 as he continues his consecutive streak. Beautiful Vancouver. When the Lions brought in Robert Carter Jr., we looked back to see if there were any great college highlight suits. I think we found one here against Delaware State for Robert Morris.
Sick. Like, just... Like, here's a closer, and... I'm a Trekkie. He defied the laws of physics.
But he can never do that again.
Never again. How about now in the pro level? Wow. Oh, my goodness. Just, and then tuck and roll. Yeah. Ball never touches the turf.
No insult to any other play we've seen in the CFL this season.
That's number 1.
I think we'll tuck that at the top. For now, let's see. Here we go. Bowling by Mitchell and off to Greg Bell. And on that catch, he picks up 5 yards. And BC taking the lead in their last possession by 3 points.
Yeah, they may have to spy Greg Bell and just, whether it's a run play or getting him out in the passing game, just to hug the line of scrimmage a little bit more. He's putting together a real good game on first down.
From the Hamilton 45, the 4-2 Ticats have won 4 games in a row against the 3-4 Lions, looking to get back to 500. Mitchell off to Brendan O'Leary. Orange takes a hit, keeps going. Good effort, O'Leary Orange, the receiver who was robbed by Carter late in the first half, and up near a first down for the Ticats.
Well, this is going to be what I meant about patience for Hamilton when you take a look at the way the Lions are playing defensively. They're playing with, a light box up there with just 6 guys up there, and the rest is in an umbrella to protect against the deep ball. Try to take away the chance for the deep ball from Bo. So he's going to go underneath, and he's going to take what they give him and make those linebackers extend. And a penalty looked like it added to this.
On Matthew Betts, unnecessary roughness. Not on that play. It was Betts, number 90, that was called. And that was the 8th different Hamilton receiver with a catch from Bo Levi Mitchell. To the BC 44 and a first down. Ticats on the move again. Johnny Augustine gets another carry. Down to the 41. 3 more yards.
Lions fans, Rod, probably wondering about that penalty to Matthew Betts. He's up here, and he gets blocked up pretty well and on this spin move, and then gets angry with it and takes a shot. Just hang on. Just there you go. Lucky he didn't get thrown out.
Working on Brendan Bordner there. So we tack on that penalty yardage, that previous play. Ticats in scoring range again. Get it down to the BC 41. 3 receivers to the right. Mitchell looking that way underneath to Keandre Smith. Spins, works his way down. The most popular target of the 9 targeted receivers actually in this game, and he gets 8 more yards.
Yeah, Coach Lapo mentioned it on the panel before the game started that some of these underneath routes are going to be important for Bo Levi Mitchell based on the defense they're seeing. And that's exactly what Scott Milanovich is looking at. He's going to keep working the ball underneath, either to his back, Greg Bell, or Keandre Smith, until the Lions move closer to the line of scrimmage.
Smith has 7 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. That happened earlier in the half. So it's a first down at the BC 33. 3-point Lions lead. Hamilton in range to tie it or perhaps go ahead. Here we go, Mitchell. Lots of time. Lots of time. You can pitch a tent back there. Running around. Couldn't find a receiver and just takes off. So he had that protection with the Lions not sending as many. He does get 4 yards, but just couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, they sent 3. That was it. Again, the philosophy being that don't give up the big play and just send these 3 guys. And Bo Levi Mitchell's been around. I mean, this is start 146 or 47 for him. So he's just saying, okay, you're going to rush 3. I got that blocked up all day. So I'm going to wait. But look at the umbrella. All double team there. Coverage up at the top. They don't want to give up the big play. So they're making Bo Levi Mitchell be patient.
No choices at all. Mike Benavides only sent those 3 as you talked about, so a 2nd and 6 now. Late 3rd quarter, final minute. Has time again, runs out of it, but gets rid of it, and it's caught. Augustine, first down, just out of bounds after he gets the necessary yardage with 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd.
Well, I tell you, that might have been his best throw of the night. Mitchell got hit pretty good as he was letting go of this, and he got it out there. Kind of sidearm that. He threw across his body. He didn't even got a chance to really set up. He got sandwiched. But he did get it to Augustine.
2nd catch for Johnny Augustine in this game down to the BC 21. Under 40 seconds to go until 3-quarter time. Remains a close game. 3-point game. Hamilton on the move now. And quickly over to the right to Tim White inside the 20. Takes a hit. Keeps his feet. Working his way down to the 15. And a 2nd and short to come up with 20 seconds to go in the clock.
They bring Kenny Lawler over, and, star receivers still have to do some of the dirty work, and Lawler's going to come around, and he's got key block. So he's going to come out from the backfield, come out here on the bubble screen, basically, or the wide receiver screen, I should say, and watch Lawler. He's up there, and he's got to get that block and make sure that defender goes inside and doesn't get the angle.
4th trip to the red zone for the Ticats in this game. They have a couple of touchdowns to show for it. Last play, 3rd quarter. him. It sails incomplete.
Yeah, Lawler's got a one-on-one. He had a one-on-one on the backside, and Bo found him, just couldn't connect.
Mitchell saw it. Not this time, though, as BC keeps him out of the end zone that time around with a third down coming up and a field goal try for Mark Leggio to tie it up. Through 3. Lions up 3. Through 3 quarters, hey, we got a ball game at BC Place with Hamilton in position to tie the game in the next play.
Yeah, this is a game, and when you think about the Robert Carter catch, I mean, we're going to watch that for a while now. Just outstanding. But I am loving this chess match.
Yeah.
Scott Milenovich offensively trying to get Lawler in different spots, and what Coach Benavides is doing to counter that, and he got the one-on-one he wanted. It was on Gary Peters, and there was a discussion from Scott Milenovich after this during the break as to whether or not he would challenge it, and he talked to the official for a bit, did not throw the challenge flag, but that was one of the very few times he's got a one-on-one on the backside with Lawler.
Yeah, it looked like he was thinking about it, but instead Mark Leggio was out to attempt this one from 23 yards away. And to stay perfect on the night and perfect on the season. In fact, that is 33 straight, I should say, for Leggio. That is now the 4th longest streak of all time. And this, remember this 3 weeks ago in Toronto?
$1 million.
Canary Grant had already a kick return for a touchdown. This is Isaiah Wooden in the second half. He does it for the second time this season. That's $1 million return.
$1 million.
And the Save On Foods contest for $1 million. The kick for $1 million.
He is.
And there he is, Roy Lister.
My new best friend.
Yeah. And maybe Isaiah Wooden's best friend now. Well, certainly Isaiah Wooden is a good friend to Roy Lister. As he got a chance to meet him and shake his hand and say, hey, thank you. Thanks for the $1 million.
Yeah, thanks for the $1 million. That's outstanding.
Literally, thanks $1 million.
Man.
So Roy Lister getting a congratulations. That was 3 weeks ago, but he got the check today. Got to meet one of the guys along with Janarian Grant, and the big part of it. Another catch for Javon Katoy. Isaiah Wooden, he suits in Calgary, getting things started. I mean, this is really his first full season. He got in a game last year, but returned one for a touchdown against the Stamps and then did it again in that Argo game. No one's ever had 3, by the way, kick returns in a season for a touchdown.
Yeah, he is special talent, and one of the great aspects of our game is the return game. And look, it's 23-all. Special teams may be the difference tonight.
We shall see. Early 4th quarter, pressure coming in Stubblefield. Right in on Rourke, who does get rid of it. The Stanley Berryhill, but they've got that covered up nicely, too. As it's Deshaun Amos coming in. It's actually a loss of a yard as Stubblefield was all over Rourke at the start of that play.
Yeah, they've done this. Look, the Ticat defense a couple of times. Stubblefield looks like he's going to either sit at the line of scrimmage or drop, and then he actually joins the rush. This time he really didn't even hesitate. Nathan Rourke was able to sidestep that, but I think that throw kind of got Berryhill off balance. Really couldn't do much with it.
2nd and 11. Rourke off to the left. It's caught shy of a first down. A good tackle in open space there by Jonathan Moxey on that catch by Katoy. 6 yards, but not enough. Punting unit will come on.
Yeah, when you throw to the wide field like that, and you got that space for your receiver, this is what the DB's job is right now. Just hang on. That's not fun. It's not a real form tackle. It's not a special hit or anything. You just grab the ankle and you hang on until your teammates get there. Moxie got it done.
So Carl Meyer is in to punt this one away. Just outside the Lions 40. Talked about Isaiah Wood, one of the Ticats who is back there. Along with Tim White, it goes. Wooden's way at the 10. Punt of 43 yards. And they got him wrapped up just across the 20. 4th quarter, tie game. Bo Levi Mitchell and the Ticats offense is back on. when Greg Bell got hurt, Johnny Augustine stepped up 85 yards on the ground last week in Ottawa. With more on him, let's go to Farhan.
Yeah, born in St. Martin and raised in Florida, Johnny Augustine really had no intention of playing football. He wanted to be an MMA fighter. Then shortly before his freshman year of high school, one of his friends convinced him to give the game a try. He rushed for almost 300 yards in his first game, and he was hooked ever since until the following year when his family moved to Ontario. He was upset with the move, wasn't sure if he was going to continue, ultimately did. It landed him at Guelph, where he dominated in the OUA, and it's where he first met Ted Govaya, the Ticats GM, who was with him when the team picked him up in Winnipeg and then followed him here to Hamilton. Govaya told him, you're going to get a bigger opportunity to carry the football here. Talking to coaches before the game, they don't really feel there's a huge drop-off when Augustine plays because he's such a complete back, but he is loving the opportunity to have a bigger role and loves Ted Govaya's impact on his career. We're all thinking of Ted every week during the CFL season, guys.
Absolutely so true, Farhan. Thinking of Ted and the moves he made, including that one to improve this Tiger Cats team. Augustine, several years in Winnipeg, backing up Andrew Harris and Brady Oliveira and really getting his touches after the injury to Greg Bell, the intended target on that previous play. Incomplete. Second down now. 23-23. Mitchell throws off to the left. Shamar Bridges trying to push his way up to the 30. Quite there. They're shy, a couple of yards shy of a first down after that gain of 8.
Yeah, I think if you're Scott Milanovic, one more yard or half a yard even, and you're probably going for it. But in your own end, in a tie game, you got to kick the ball, play field position. It's the right decision, and it's been quiet out there for Shamar Bridges tonight.
That's the first 2 and out for the Ticats in this game as Nick Constantino comes on. There's 7 McGee, the youngest of 7. If you didn't know, that's how he got his name. 6 older sisters and Constantino. Back to 7. 54-yard punt. And flag comes out and looked like he was out of bounds as well. There's referee Tim Croker and awaiting the penalty announcement. An injured ball player down too. That's Isaiah Messam in a lot of discomfort, getting attention from the Lions training staff.
During the return, illegal block, BC number 44. 10-yard penalty. First down, BC.
He's the one that's penalized. He's the one in pain right now. On a night when there's just not many penalties in this ball game.
Yeah, he was trying to get in position to make the block. He got the penalty for that, which I'm not sure was a penalty, but when he steps on the ankle of Wilborn there, his knee locked out.
Nice to see he's up mobile now, but with a bit of a limp. Isaiah Messam in his 7th year at Wilfrid Laurier University and heading off to the tent.
Yeah, and that wasn't a penalty.
But it does push them back, as announced by Tim Croker, to the 20, where they will begin. 23-23. Under 11 minutes to go here at BC Place. Good one between the Ticats and the Lions. And James Butler. Memorable game for him. And another good run. Solid first down for Butler at 2 touchdowns in the first half against his old team.
A bit of a catfight going on down there. The receiving core and DBs fighting as they block downfield for Butler. Just that right side of the offensive line sealed. It looked like Andrew Pearson came out after snapping the ball. He got around the corner.
That's a line that's had its injury issues as well. They had free agent Dejon Allen injured earlier in week 3, an arm injury. Chris Schlugger went from guard out to tackle. Ilm Manning, first year out of Hawaii, number 55 in at right guard. So they've had to juggle, and Michael Couture, the center, out as well, with Andrew Pearson stepping up there. James Butler at 98 yards. A couple of touchdowns, as mentioned, the BC 33. Well, that'll get him to 100, and then some. Got to 100 and then kept chugging as he moved the pile up close to the 40.
Yeah, the first tackler has not brought him down all night. I mean, He's taken on 2 or 3 linebackers, pushing for another 2, 3, 4 yards on every one of these runs. And this one, they held him. The first contact was made with about 2 yards gained, and he just kept grinding for another 4.
So 7 more yards for Butler. 5th year out of Iowa. Started his career with BC. After a couple of seasons, went to Hamilton for 2, and now back with the Lions. And this movement at the line looked like Mario Kendrick's jump. Free play for Rourke. It's incomplete. He threw it all the way down and intended there for Aiden Eberhardt, but no avail. Let's see what they call on the flag. You did see Ticats jump at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Hamilton number 90. It's a 5-yard penalty. It makes it a first down.
It is the flag against Kendricks and a first down by penalty for BC.
Buck Pierce changing things up in this drive, going back to James Butler. Went away from him for a couple of series there. But on the last 2 sets of downs, he's been giving the ball to Butler on first down.
Buck Pierce, longtime offensive coordinator in Winnipeg, first year as a CFL head coach, back where it started for him as a quarterback back in 2005. The BC 45, Butler, the fake to him, it's knocked again at the line of scrimmage, and that one falls incomplete. That's Philip Osai, inserted into the Hamilton lineup after the injury to Taiwan Garbett.
Yeah, he's made a couple of plays tonight, and this is a big one. I mean, it gets you into 2nd and long. He's out there at that stand-up end position, and watch how he reacts athletically. Steps inside to seal the run, and then redirects back outside and times his jump.
Yeah, sorry, not Osai, Julian Hauser, excuse me.
Hauser on the outside.
Hauser gets that one. Veteran who came back to Hamilton after the season with the Calgary Stampeders. Oh, nearly intercepted. It went off McInnes, and coming in with Stavros Katsantonis just a little low. And another flag is out.
There were bodies flying everywhere.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Hamilton number 1. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it first down.
Reggie Stubblefield flagged for that illegal contact.
There was a crossing road, and I think there was a collision on the crosser. There's the deep jam there. Well past the 5 yards.
So it's a 1st and 10 at midfield. Nathan Rourke fakes to Butler, tries to get away, and he does get the pass away near Katsantonis and Berryhill, but that's incomplete, and more heat on Nathan Rourke. 2nd down coming up.
And this time it was Philip Osai. With his 2 ends, we got him right here. And he's going to, again, athletically get outside, just like Hauser did on that previous play. He steps up the field, seals that run, and he has still got the speed and quickness to get outside and cause Nathan Rourke all kinds of problems. When you can play both those that run edge and the bootleg from the quarterback, you got an athletic defensive end.
Signed as a free agent this year at North Alabama, Philip Osai. 4-man rush. Rourke coming across but can't hang on. And Verisuk, the rookie linebacker, Stanley Berryhill didn't like that coverage, but it's incomplete. It's 3rd down coming up.
He wants to. That's the signal to go to Buck Pierce to challenge. He felt like there was pass interference on Verisuk. We'll take a look. Buck Pierce waiting for his spotters up front to yeah, looks like there might be
a challenge from Buck Pierce. 0 for 3 in challenges.
BC is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
That was on a 2nd down play right at midfield. Was that PI against Verisuk?
But PI is automatic first down. There's Verisuk. The crossing routes coming across the middle. You be the judge. Is this enough for PI? Berryhill's coming across. A little bit with the left hand.
Well, if the Lions do get it in this Buck Pierce challenge, it would be their third first down by penalty. What is the call from Tim Croker?
After review, we have pass interference against Hamilton, number 49. It's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So Pierce with his first successful challenge in all this drive, 3 first downs by penalty. They got Verisuk there, thought that was pass interference on Berryhill. It gets it down to the 45 of Hamilton in this 23-23 tie.
Wasn't a lot, but Verisuk did turn Berryhill with that left hand first at the beginning of the crosser. Wasn't a lot, though.
Just a little earlier before the ball arrived. James Butler back to him. He's over 100 yards rushing, adding to his total. And a good pickup again inside the 40 on that first down. Second and short coming up.
A lot of ways it was kind of like that penalty on the punt. Nevertheless, another very manageable situation for Nathan Rourke here. Second down.
Right back to Butler. And second and short. Not this time. Casey Sales comes in. He slows him down. See Owen Hubert there as well, but that time he needed 3 and he did not get it. It'll be a third and short, and see what the Lions decide to do here.
Well, it's field goal range.
Field goal unit coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you got to take the points, take the lead. This would be close to the long on the year for Sean White. That's 47. This from about 44.
White, who's 3 for 3, longest of 33 in this game. And this one coming up, put down by Meyer at 44 yards. Sean White, still perfect. 4 for 4. As his streak continues, as does that of Mark Leggio. That's 30 straight for White. And the Lions, more importantly, have their 3-point lead back. It's a close game now, and maybe we should not be surprised given these two teams when they meet in Vancouver. Hey, last year, drama. It went to overtime, and the Ticats won it. In fact, they've won the last 2, but just look at these several games just going back to 2017 and how close it's been when these two clubs meet up at BC Place.
Closing in on 700 yards of offense between the two teams tonight.
And some big defensive plays, too. 26-23, here's Greg Bell. Ball comes out, and BC has it. Bell had a good pickup for a first down, but couldn't hang on to the football. A massive turnover here for BC.
See who caused the fumble, but I looked like it came from the secondary. Ronald Kent celebrating. Big hole at the line of scrimmage. I mean, Greg Bell makes a nice cut at the line, and then it's into the secondary. Beaulieu there, he's the one who goes in and punches it out.
Beaulieu and Kent both in there, and recovered by Sione Tehema.
Yeah, Kent with the left hand. I think he's actually, it is Ronald Kent Jr. who rips it out of there. Beaulieu is making the tackle.
Tehema gets it. BC ball. And that's at the 49 of the Ticats. Up by 3. That's caught. Another target for Riley Pickett's got himself a couple of catches in this game. His first 2 of the season. And 4 yards.
Let's go. Let's go. That motherfucking ball, baby. That's me.
See again what happened. Greg Bell had it stripped away, and Tehema falls on it.
Good hustle from Tehema. Not just going through his assignment and then saying, well, it's in the secondary now, let them deal with it. He kept hustling, and the ball came out. He was there. Good things happen when you hustle.
Kent had a takeaway last week against Saskatchewan. Trevor Harris with an interception. Here's Rourke. Who's having a breakout season, over 100 yards last week and 2 touchdowns, has set them up
about this throw. I mean, this timing. There's Eberhardt. 4 receivers out to that side. The throw and the timing, unreal. In stride, 43-yard gain. Eberhardt had no choice but to catch that one. Hit him in stride.
Perfect. He had 6 catches, 105, and 2 touchdowns against the Riders last week. One in the dying seconds of the game. Mazzoli is in. Jeremiah Mazzoli keeps it right side. Touchdown, Lions. Couple of quick plays after the fumble. And more points off the turnover for the BC Lions, just like back in the first quarter. And this time it's Jeremiah Mazzoli in, taking it in and finishing what Rourke and Eberhardt had started on that big strike.
Do you think the BC Lion receivers were inspired by the play made by Robert Carter in the first half? Hey, if he can do what he did in the first half, I can catch anything. And Aiden Eberhardt in stride gets the Lions down on the goal line, and they finish it with the short yardage touchdown.
By Jeremiah Mazzoli. Point after White. Moments ago, this game had been tied at 23, but 10 quick points. First, coming down for the field goal, and then that man out of Wyoming in his 3rd year, Aiden Eberhardt, with a big catch from Nathan Rourke, finished off by that man, Jeremiah Mazzoli.
Well, Rourke set up and threw this on time. I mean, it's an excellent drive after. Here's the strip by Ronald Kent Jr. Create the turnover, but as we talked about in the first quarter, the turnover is the first half of the puzzle. You got to put points on the board after that, and a win for the offense after a turnover is a major. Not a field goal, but a major. A win for the defense after a turnover is a field goal. And it was major because of the timing and throw from Nathan Rourke. Aiden Eberhardt, a nice catch. Inspired, had to be inspired, all the receivers in the league, by the play made in the first half.
Well, it's a big part of the story, isn't it? The Ticats have turned it over 3 times, and the Lions have scored each time. A couple of touchdowns and a field goal, 17 off turnovers. BC's turned it over once.
That was an unreal throw.
Nathan Rourke. Not a touchdown pass, but awfully close. He's 19 of 24, 274 yards in this one. Getting closer to another 300-yard game. Still 3:53 on the clock. Lions suddenly in charge now in this game. Quickly, the kickoff from Meyer. Ticats in a hole. Isaiah Wood. He could get him out of it. He could get him out of it. Trying to get the edge, and a good return all the way across the field. And it's Meyer himself coming in to make sure that he doesn't go any further.
How about that? That was great speed by Carl Meyer. He was flying out there, because if Wooden gets the corner, there's no one to catch him. Meyer just may have saved a touchdown.
I don't know if Roy Lister is a BC Lions fan being from out here, but I wonder who he'd be cheered for in that play. Does have that $1 billion check.
He's cheered for Wood.
DeAndre Smith, that's the catch. And up near across midfield, close to a first down for Hamilton.
Rod, you hand me $1 million, I'm cheering for you too.
I gotcha.
Well, this is far from over. That's a veteran on top of his game. Right there, you're looking at Bo Levi Mitchell. It's been a quiet, by the start of the season in his standards, quiet night for Kenny Lawler because of the style of defense that Mike Benavides is throwing at Scott Milanovic. Big umbrella coverage, making Bo check it down and throw it underneath. That's Ryan Phillips he's talking to. They work together, coordinating that defense, and
they go way back too, don't they? When Benny was coaching before, and Ryan Phillips was a player here with the Lions. Close friendship there. 2nd and 1 coming up. Benny, of course, was a head coach back in 2012, 13, and 14. Came back to to this team a couple of years ago as special teams coordinator, and now the DC. As he was once under Wally Wano.
Got Lawler up there. Is he going to be all on a one-on-one at the top of your screen? Doesn't look like it. Beaulieu is moving over to help out.
Well, by Kenny Lawler's standards, this has been quiet. 3 targets, 1 catch, 21 yards. Lions doing a good job on him.
See both Gary Peters talking inside. That means that Bo Levi Mitchell's got to look out here to the field side.
Here we go. 2nd and inches. Handing off. First down. That's Greg Bell who gets it to the BC 53.
Now that was short yardage, and you know there's going to be a run play or maybe even a quarterback sneak. But that's what they're doing to set that up and put the lineup out there just to see what the defense is going to do. And if they change it up and they leave Gary Peters in a one-on-one, that's registered for this first down or 2nd and long.
And it always makes you wonder because they do have the down to play with, that being a 2nd down.
That's right.
So could afford to go for it just in case and still have that 3rd down. 10-point difference. 3:14 on the clock. Hamilton has a 4-game winning streak at stake. BC trying to get the record back to 500 at 4-4. You see Lawler again towards the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10. Mitchell off to the right underneath. Caught. Keandre Smith. Favorite target of the day in 9 more yards. Another 2nd and short is coming up.
Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air.
Put your hands up in the air and catch a football. He only needs one. Yeah.
Only needed one.
Put your hand up in the air, Robert Carter. The play of the day on a day of lots of big plays, including that turnover leading to this Jeremiah Mazzoli touchdown that has the BC Lions with 3 minutes to go, leading it by 10. We're looking ahead to next week. Is it week 9 already? Crazy. Coming up Thursday Night Football. Calgary and Ottawa, the Red Blacks coming out of the bye, needing a win against the only team they've beaten this year, the Stampeders at 5-2. Rematch Toronto-Winnipeg. And then Hamilton-Edmonton on Saturday. Doubleheader. Saskatchewan and Montreal. Interesting as well. West against East. Saskatchewan on top of the standings in the league. Here's Bo Levi Mitchell. Taking his deep shot for Brendan O'Leary-Orange. He is not robbed this time. He is a Hamilton touchdown. 44 yards for number 4. And another touchdown pass from Bo Levi Mitchell.
Well, why not use Kenny Lawler as a decoy and use Tim White as a decoy? This was the target, by the way, when Robert Carter made his big play in the 2nd quarter. Not this time, as you mentioned, Rod. This time, that ball put out in front where O'Leary-Orange could run underneath it. And just like that, we're looking at a 3-point game.
O'Leary-Orange wanted another shot. You can be sure after what Robert Carter did to him late in the first half. And he got it. Point after to get it within a field goal for Mark Leggio. Puts it through. 3-point game. 2:50 on the clock. Still plenty of time for Brendan O'Leary-Orange.
God did.
Yeah, got it that time. And his first touchdown of the season.
O'Leary-Orange with the 4-receiver side. Lawler is drawing the coverage into the middle, right in here. And when Lawler draws the coverage, that umbrella breaks down. O'Leary-Orange through the post. Lawler's to the right of him, running a seam crosser. That pulls the deep coverage. I believe it was Beaulieu over to Lawler, and O'Leary-Orange makes the catch on the deep ball.
Second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Bo Levi Mitchell against that one amazing interception, but O'Leary-Orange thinking about that last play. That's the one that matters right now as they get to within 3. Canadian receiver, played his college football in Nevada, O'Leary-Orange did. His dad, Doyle Orange, was an excellent running back with the Toronto Argonauts back in the 1970s. throws Katsantonis on 7 McGee just across the 40.
Let's go back to the touchdown. I want to show you that umbrella gets broken down. Here is O'Leary Orange on that seam, and here inside is Lawler pulling across the middle. When he does that, he draws the attention of that umbrella. Stop it here. So now the umbrella looks solid, but watch how this is influenced by Lawler. Lawler is going down the middle. There's going to take Lawler. That opens up O'Leary Orange in behind the umbrella.
We wondered, just given the kind of season Kenny Lawler has had, how that's going to affect defense. Talked about it before. They got to pay a lot of attention to him. O'Leary Orange, the touchdown, and back to James Butler with the carry here for BC, up around the 45.
Now, he hasn't done it against the Ticats, but we showed you how many 300-yard games Nathan Rourke has had. He hasn't done against just 2 teams. He's thrown over 300 against every other team in the league, except Winnipeg and Hamilton. He's over 300 tonight, but this is a key down.
26 yards shy for Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, this is a key snap right here.
On a 2nd and 8, and momentum swinging back to Hamilton. Needing a field goal to tie. These 2 teams went to overtime the last time they played here a year ago. Throw, it's incomplete.
No flags.
No flag. Looked like there was some movement along the line, but no flags out. And the Lions are going to have to punt.
I think Nathan Rourke thought he had a free play. Take a look just before the snap of the ball. Was there any early movement? Boy.
Looked like Philip Osai. They had a jump, and you can see by Rourke's reaction. You're right. I think he did think he'd have a free one. Instead, it's a 3rd and 8. More critical moment now with BC having to punt. Still over 2 minutes to go. Ticats getting the ball. Wooden back at his 10. Tripped up a bit. Tries to keep his feet. Adam Konar in there on a special teams tackle right around the 20. And so Bo Levi Mitchell will come back on after throwing that long touchdown toss to Brendan O'Leary Orange, needing to get the very least in field goal range, but still has 2:07 on the clock.
And the chess match continues.
It does. What a game.
Well, with that kind of time, Greg Bell can still be involved in this drive. I think Mike Benavides will stay with that umbrella, which he looks like he's using right now. It's still back there. Look how deep they are. Not wanting to give up anything in behind them like they just did to O'Leary Orange.
Lawler's been quiet, but he can get loud in a real hurry. We'll see with Mitchell, and flags out with the snap of the ball. Little discussion with Bo Levi Mitchell and his center, Calderwood Manzi.
Procedure. Hamilton number 59. It's a 5-yard penalty. Marines first down.
So calling the tackle Quentin Barrow on that procedure call. 1st and 15. Back inside their 20. But a long way to go to get it close enough for Mark Leggio. But still 2:07 on the clock. Mitchell underneath quickly. O'Leary Orange just had that touchdown. Another good pickup as well. Over 300 yards passing for Bo Levi Mitchell, and that catch and run afterwards by O'Leary Orange gets them into a 2nd and short.
See how deep the linebackers are playing, whether it's Ben Halatic or Michael Hallway. I mean, you've got them outnumbered in the run game too, with lots of time to still run the ball.
Under 2 minutes, 154 and counting. 2nd and 2, and they're throwing. It's caught. It's a first down and more for Keandre Smith, who gets it up close to the Hamilton 40.
About 30 yards of territory that Bo Levi needs and the BC defense needs to stop.
And for Keandre Smith, Targeted 11 times. He has 10 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown earlier this half. 1st and 10. Mitchell with time to the right. Underneath again to Smith. After the catch, gets it up near a first down, right around the 48. As they work away to get, at the very least, closer for a tying field goal.
And the downside for this, for the BC defense, is that they don't get any pressure with just their 4 rushers. Bo's over 300 yards already tonight, or again tonight, I should say, and he's just standing back there with tons of time.
For the 53rd time, the most by an active quarterback in the CFL for Bo Levi Mitchell. Over 300, flags out. And did the Ticats, one of the receivers, cross the line of scrimmage before the ball came out?
Offside, Hamilton number 4. 5-yard penalty, range first down.
A little early on the waggle suits and an offside.
Well, twice now they've been in 1st and 10 plus and overcome it with underneath throws.
Last time in this situation, too, O'Leary Oranger nearly had enough for the first down on that 1st and 15. Back at it again. 1:25 to go. Dramatic ending again between the Lions and the Ticats, and a 3-point difference.
Looks like it's three-man pressure again. Maybe an add-on with Deontay Williams.
Nope. Here we go. Underneath again. Greg Bell this time. And he looks like he has enough for a first down. So they just keep chipping away. They have the time to do it as they work their way across midfield into the Lion zone. 16 more yards and closer to, at the very least, field goal range.
See right here, Deontay Williams from the linebacking spot. I thought he might sneak up and try to put some pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell, but he actually takes underneath coverage on one of the Hamilton receivers. That leaves Greg Bell wide open in the flat.
1st and 10. 1:13 on the clock. Underneath the Bell. And tries to work for a few more yards to get it down to the 45. A pickup of 5 more yards.
Right now, Nathan Rourke is saying, if you're going to, now you're almost in field goal range. I mean, you're 5-6 yards away. Do it with time on the clock. I'm talking about Nathan Rourke thinking that.
Yeah, they want to get the ball back, but
exactly.
Mitchell and Ticats happy to use most of it up now. Underneath, Smith, first down. And they're definitely in Legio range now. Legio, his career high is 55, but as I say, still with 53 seconds, they're not just be thinking a field goal here. They have a chance to win this game.
And no question. No question.
Legal contact on a receiver, BC number 9. That penalty's declined as the gain is greater, and it's first down.
The first mission is now accomplished. They're in field goal range, but with 53 seconds left, and the Lions giving them that much room out in the flats. Bo Levi Mitchell thinking, guys, we can win this one on the road going away with a touchdown throw here.
And as you point out, the clock under a minute, 53 seconds in Hamilton. Happy to use it all up here. 4-man rush. Mitchell with time. Gets deflected and caught to Kenny Lawler. Second time it's happened in this game that it's deflected at the line of scrimmage into the hands of a Ticats receiver. 9 more yards.
Long crossing route from Kenny Lawler. Let's see who got their hand on it. Was it Matthew Betts? He was an inside rush. Might have been Hendricks.
So second catch for Lawler, and to say second time, the other one, remember, was on a 3rd down try. Went to Tim White. 2nd and 1, 38 seconds to go. Inside the 25. He's caught by White. First down. Sticks move again. Here come the Ticats, still with a half minute to go.
Well, now from where he is,
timeout, Hamilton.
From where he is, Mitchell can from here throw intermediate routes down to the goal line. He's got time for 3 or 4 more plays.
And as you saw, Nathan Rourke can do nothing but pace and hope it goes to overtime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The first mission for Hamilton was get in field goal range, make this, extend the game. They did that, but they did it with a minute to go. And now Bo's got 3, maybe 4 if he's really efficient.
And Hamilton has a kicker that hasn't missed this season. 18 of 18, and he's running a hot streak right now, a 33 straight, 4th longest streak in the history of the game. Mark Legia, 3 for 3 on the night. They don't even want to rely on him, I'm sure.
Kenny Lawler, touchdown.
Kenny Lawler, keep an eye out. Well, it goes to Bridges, takes a hit, ball comes out, Bell picks it off, and alertly takes it for a first down. Just when it looked like it could be a huge break for BC. Alert play by Greg Bell after Shamar Bridges coughed it up.
Well, did he catch it and fumble it, or was this an incomplete?
The rule on the field, it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's so doesn't matter, but still,
it's an incomplete pass. It's
that hit. It was that close.
Timer,
I mean,
please put 29 seconds.
Bell can't take a chance on whether
No. That's yeah. He's got to continue to play football and assume that was a fumble. Absolutely, but you knew it was going to be automatically looked at by the replay center, and they ruled it incomplete. He didn't have it long enough.
Close though.
Oh yeah.
What a finish. 29 seconds.
Take a shot here, get a first down without scoring, and still will have time for maybe one more play before a field goal attempt to tie it.
Well,
if you had to.
It was BC last year forcing a tie and went to overtime, and Hamilton won it by 3. Will we have another overtime game here? Ticats, 2nd and 10. Down to the 2. And a 1st and goal coming up. Keandre Smith again. What a game he's having as the favorite target for Bo Levi Mitchell. His 12th catch of the game.
With all the attention, Lawler was outside. It's been Keandre Smith's night. I mean,
timeout, BC.
The Lions call a timeout. Keandre Smith now with 13 catches, 137 yards and a touchdown.
And Bo Levi Mitchell saying, if you want me to be patient, I can be patient. That's no problem. His underneath throws, other than the O'Leary Orange, deep one.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just saying, hey, if you're going to play that many back there.
They were happy to take them.
We'll take them all the way down the field.
And they had the time, having around 3 minutes on this drive. Now 24 seconds on the clock.
Now it's got to be Greg Bell time, no?
You'd have to think down at the 2-yard line.
Time for 2 or 3 quarterback sneaks as well.
Mitchell up to 388 yards passing.
They're not bringing in short yardage, so I would say Greg Bell time, especially in shotgun down on the 2.
There they are. At a shotgun formation on a 1st and goal at 24 seconds on the clock. Making the Bell. Throwing. No, looking for White. Incomplete. And a flag comes out. Ben Halanick was in on the coverage. He puts his hands up. But at this point, instead of a 2nd and goal, it would be a 1st and goal, but still, look at the clock, 20 seconds to go.
Accidental pass interference, BC number 46. It'll be first down, automatic first down on the 1-yard line.
So it's really not about the yardage, it's about the down.
Well, let's take a look at the penalty. Halanick doesn't think he did anything wrong, but well, he said it's accidental. Did he step on his foot, or did he just trip on his own? They did call accidental pass interference. That puts it on the 1-yard line. Also stops the clock because of the penalty. Of course, it stops in the final 3 minutes anyway.
But with 20 seconds to go, it still renews their downs. It's back to 1st and goal. With the penalty, back to 1st. Hamilton looking for the go-ahead touchdown. Mitchell to throw. Wide open. Keandre Smith has it. What a game for him. And what a fitting target the way this one has gone, as the Ticats have come back from 10 down in the 4th quarter to take the lead. And a big extra point coming up here, too, for Leggio to put BC at a field goal range with 16 seconds left.
Keandre Smith wide open with the Lions just on the line of scrimmage, feeling like everyone else in the building thought, which was going to be a run play to Greg Bell up the middle on the 1-yard line. And Scott Milenovich says, no, this time we're going to throw it from the 1-yard line. Wide open.
13 plays, 87 yards in just under 2 minutes. And with this, the Ticats have a 4-point lead with 16 seconds to go.
It's done. Send them Lions home. Not East is weak, but West is weak. Hey!
Little East-West trash talk there from Keandre Smith. Memorable night of 14 catches, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Well, Keandre Smith must have been thinking, this is me. You know, he's the 3 receiver to the wide side of the field, and nobody back there for the Lions covers down on him. You know, shotgun formation from the 1-yard line. I'm sure there were Hamilton fans going, what are you doing throwing the ball from the 1-yard line with 20 seconds to go? Give it to Greg Bell on the ground or go quarterback sneak. Nope. Change up.
Well, you heard the studio talking before the game about you got to make sure you cover the money guy, Kenny Lawler. But the problem, they have. The problem is they got
there's other
talented receivers too, and Keandre Smith, Tim White, and Bo Levi Mitchell found White wide open. You just seen not long ago it was a 33-23 game.
11-point lead for the Lions.
You're still the #1 swimmer in Canada. You're my favorite person in the world. Charlie, you're the best. Mama, I love you. Dad, I wouldn't be here without you, even though you used to wear double blue.
But talking about Adrian Smith, his father, who used to play for the Argos.
But that's the value of a top-end receiver like Kenny Lawler in your lineup. You know, defenses kind of move heaven and earth to take care of that.
Well, Lawler doesn't burn them. The big pop in the 7 McGee return, and then he reloads and he gets it up to about the 44. But
let's lock this in.
This is what Keandre Smith did on this drive alone, since.
Again, just the flats and that short middle crossing routes wide open all night long here due to the style of defense. And if it was Keandre Smith's number, Bo Levi Mitchell has no problem dialing him up. 5 catches on that one drive.
Mitchell methodically worked them down the field, and now they're about to seal a victory here. BC needs a touchdown, nearly an interception there. And the Lions will have one final crack at it with 3 seconds to go. And as said, if it had been a 3-point difference, maybe they'd have a shot at a couple of plays to get close enough, but no. And Hamilton is looking at a 5-game winning streak now, unless BC can get a miracle.
What a chess match this has been tonight between offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for the BC Lions. Scott Milenovich versus Mike Benavides tonight. It has been quite the chess match to watch.
It has been a fascinating game, back and forth. Last play, Rourke, it is caught. And they'll try to kick it towards the end zone and then hope for a recovery. Doesn't get close, although they do get the ball back. And there's Rourke there and still scrambling around, but to no avail. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have their first 5-game winning streak since 2019, and that man, Keandre Smith, a big part of it.
Well, there's a flag on the field. The play can't end with a penalty. However, I believe it'll be no yards, yeah.
Looking at no yards, Tim Croker saying the Cats had waved that off. And some congratulations all around for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Bo Levi Mitchell. Another victory. Started 0-2, but have won 5 straight and back in a tie with the Montreal Alouettes on top of the East.
There's no infraction for offside, as Hamilton number 12 is onside at the time of the kick. Time has run out, and that's the ball game.
At the start of this game, when we looked at the quarterbacks, the top receivers, the top running backs in the league, I think Milt Stiegel in the studio said, we're going to see 70 points tonight.
70 points tonight? The prognosticator, Milt Stegall. And he jokingly doesn't want Kenny Lawler to catch his record, although he's just kidding about that. But still, Lawler was not the big factor in this, almost more of a decoy in this game as other receivers rose up, especially Keandre Smith. Ends up with 14 catches, over 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the winner as the Ticats improve to 5-2. The Lions fall to 3-5. Thursday Night Football coming up next week with the Ottawa Redblacks hosting the Calgary Stampeders. But we'll remember that play by Robert Carter Jr., even in a losing cause. Play of the year and that interception. BC had reason to think they had it. Hamilton came back. Thanks for watching. SportsCenter's next with Jermaine Franklin and Nikki Reyes.
Welcome to SportsCenter. Jermaine and Nikki here with you. Jermaine, what a game.
SportsCenter is brought to you in part by Best Web.
But it was a defensive play by the BC Lions that might have stolen the show, stolen the game.
Yeah, incredible. Robert Carter Jr., just an outstanding grab. You have to see it to believe it, but without a doubt, this is one of the best catches, not just of the year, but in pro football. Let's see how it got done.
109 on the clock. Mitchell, lots of time. Deep shot again. Come on. What a pick by Robert Carter. A Brendan O'Leary orange. Oh my goodness, what a catch by Carter.
SportsCenter, get ready. Wow, this is an unbelievable catch.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta be kidding me.
One hand.
Unbelievable. Robert Carter Jr. with the interception of the year. His teammate James Butler amazed at halftime.
That went viral.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. That's a TSN top 10.
No doubt. That's not the first time Carter has had a sensational interception. This was back in college last year at Robert Morris.
Wow.
Carter goes up with one hand and does the barrel roll in midair. He could have put 2 hands on that catch. That was more, but this one was necessary. Okay, let's go to the third quarter. Hamilton down 2013. Bo Levi Mitchell flips the ball to Keandre Smith for the touchdown. 9-yard score. That ties it at 20. This was a back-and-forth affair. Move to the fourth. The Ticats down by 3 with 5 minutes to go. Greg Bell finds a hole, but he gets stripped. The Lions recover. Hamilton's third turnover of the night. BC looks to cash in. Nathan Rourke finds Aiden Eberhardt. Good for 43 yards down to the 2. Jeremiah Masoli comes in for short yardage, and he punches it in. That stretches the Lions' lead to 10. However, the Ticats cut it to 3, and they're back on the 1-yard line, and that is Keandre Smith with the game-winning touchdown with just 20 seconds to go. What an outstanding game and an outstanding finish, highlighted, of course, by that interception. Okay, the East now sweeps the West this week, 3-0. The series between the East and the West this season is tied at 5, and Bo Levi Mitchell tossed his 53rd 300-yard game, which ties him with Kevin Glenn on the all-time list at 9th. With more, here's Laura Dykin.
And joined alongside Milt Stegall as well as Paul LaPolice. Great when games like this, you know, we were expecting a shootout between the Lions and the Ticats, and when it comes through, it comes through. Milt, how many points are going to be scored in this game? On the pregame, you said?
70.
How many did we get?
70. The psychic hotline is now open. It's open, baby.
We weren't too sure it was going to come through, but that fourth quarter did not let us down, and neither did Bo Levi Mitchell. What did he end up with? 389 yards. That is his best performance of the season. 900 plus yards of offense combined in this one. It was a very entertaining game with a capital E.
Didn't disappoint.
No.
Didn't disappoint. Now, there's been some sleepers this year in the CFL, let's be honest. But this game from start to basically finish was one of the better games I've seen maybe the last 4 or 5 years. There were plays being made on both sides of the field. The game came down to the end. So this is an excellent performance by everyone involved. And I know the losing team don't want to hear that, but from an entertainment standard, from entertainment value, this is what the CFL is all about. Guys making plays on both sides of the field, big plays, offensive, defensively, going there and making plays. So everyone who watched this game, I guarantee you, came away satisfied, except if you're a BC Lion fan, but came away satisfied with the outcome.
And how about at the end of the game, you know, Bo Levi Mitchell was the hardest part of playing a veteran quarterback and going against him defensively is, all right, we're going to play zone at the end of the game and allow, you know, we're going to make sure that they can't give up a big play at the end of the game, the BC Lions. Well, the problem is Bo Levi has seen every coverage in the world. He just checked the ball down, made the quick underneath throws. And guys, how about Keandre Smith? 14 catches, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Went off. We talked about Kenny Lawler, how if they play Kenny Lawler, you're going to give opportunities for other guys. Amazing. And one of the best things of that drive to win at the end of the game is this is an important thing for the situational football. They took enough time off the clock. After they scored the touchdown, there's only 9 seconds left for the BC Lions. So they only had one chance for one football play. So an amazing drive at the end of the game on the road against one of the top pass defenses in the Canadian Football League.
And I know it happened in a losing effort, but the play by Robert Carter Jr.,
oh my God.
As I mentioned, that's not one of the greatest plays this year, not one of the greatest plays in CFL. That's one of the greatest plays in football history. And some people may question that, but I guarantee you, you won't see many plays better than that right there.
And you're right. When you think of best catch, you're thinking it's an offensive player, right? Wide receiver, running back, tight end, whatnot. No. It was the corner. Robert Carter Jr. doing that.
Play,
and we were saying, what, 5'9"?
High points the ball, takes it, catches it with one hand, brings it back, has to control the body position to keep it in.
He was parallel to the ground almost. That was special.
And we said, yeah, by far the best play of Week 8 might be tough to beat this season.
New on SC, here's Farhan Lalji with Bo Levi Mitchell.
Bo, there's less than 3 minutes to go in this game, and you're down 10. What's going through your mind?
Just trust Scott. I know he's going to put the right plays out there. Honestly, man, the O-line did a hell of a job in that last drive. The receivers understanding the coverage, understanding what they were trying to do, coming back to the football, and then getting vertical, getting upfield. My job was just make sure I go out there and deliver it.
You could see that BC was paying...
Are you kidding me? My roommate? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Let's go, bro.
You could see BC was putting so much attention on Kenny Lawler. How much easier did that make it for you to find other guys underneath?
Well, I mean, it doesn't make it, super easy. I mean, they were adding extra guys in there. That that's your guy. You want to be able to get in the ball. But this is what we've been waiting for, is to see everybody else be able to step up, get the ball, make impact plays, and every single receiver, the running backs, every fullback, the tight ends, the O-line, they all did it.
What about Keandre? 14 catches tonight and a couple of touchdowns.
Really? That's crazy, because tell you what, man, Key, you know how I get mad at you. He's one of those guys I always try to keep locked in. But, man, he does everything for us. The blocking, the hots. He understands so much. Did a great job just understanding right there. It's a completely different route, and he just sees the space. He goes and takes it. A hell of a game for him.
Last thing I'll ask you guys are on a 5-game win streak. You're atop the league in passing. Is this the best football you've ever played?
Yeah, I think so. And honestly, I do have to give credit to Scott. The way he changed my game and changed my mindset about the way to attack this game and because of the way that it has evolved. I owe everything to him giving me that opportunity.
Thanks, Bo. Enjoy it.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, he had 14 receptions for 138 yards and 2 TDs, including the game winner. New on SC is Keandre Smith with our Farhan Lalji.
Keandre, 14 catches on 15 targets, 138 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. You ever been this busy?
Probably most in the game, most catches I had in the game, probably.
What about it? And just the opportunities that you got with the attention they were giving to Kenny, how much that opened things up for the rest of you?
We have a receiving core where if you double someone else is going to go off. You got Kenny, Tim, Brendan, Tyler, Shamar, names are on the board, so you can't leave anyone. If you want to double someone, one of us is going to get off. It doesn't really matter who.
In an era of pretty good Canadian receivers the last couple of years, you think you can make a statement in a game like this?
I'm the best one there is.
What about the situation you're in, down 10 points with 3 minutes to go? Given how good this offense is anybody getting rattled?
Rattled, no. Just paying attention to details and fixing the mistakes so we don't repeat them.
5-game win streak. It's been a while since this organization has done that. Just talk a bit about the turnaround in this room and in this franchise.
Honestly, it starts from the top down. We have great management, great coaching staff that rested our legs for this week. Started off a little slow, gave us the rest we needed, and then we came out here and executed despite whatever adversity came our way. So I'm really proud of the team, and I couldn't do it without them.
Thanks for this. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
And we're roughly 93 hours away from more football, so just hang tight. Here are the next week's odds, powered by FanDuel. The game of the week is Saturday night between the 6-1 Riders and the 5-2 Alouettes. McLeod Bethel Thompson passed for 280 yards in Calgary this week. And Nuon SC had 289 yards through the air. BC quarterback Nathan Rourke.
Performance-wise, probably a better one from you, but I know the win, or not getting the win, is probably the bigger issue. Where do you think they got away from it?
Yeah, just a couple plays that going to be hard to get out of my head. Yeah, I think ultimately as an offense, we want to end the game with the ball, and not the way obviously that it happened. We want to be able to, not go 2-and out there, and we got to make. I got to make completion when it counts. So some things left out there for sure.
The second down play looked like it was offside. Did you think you had a free play?
I did, yeah. I did, and I just tried to get a quick outflank to JB. It sucks because Justin was wide open, but thought I got him and was just trying to get the ball out of my hands and because just get a completion. But so that's too bad. I haven't seen it, but I thought it was offside.
What about just your play? Do you feel like you took a step forward this week in terms of accuracy?
Yeah, it was better. But obviously still a lot of things to work out.
Lord James and his performance today.
Yeah, I think he played great. He ran with his usual aggression. There was the offensive line did a good job creating some holes for him. We had some good explosives, which is always good, and probably could give him the ball a couple more times, especially there at the end.
How's the mood in the locker room right now? It feels like this is a bit more gut-wrenching than some of the other losses. What's the feeling like?
Yeah, I think we're just frustrated. We know that at the end of the day we can play better than we I think we understand how well we need to play, and we just haven't been hitting that. So yeah, it's been frustrating. It's been frustrating for sure. You always want to go into a bye week with a win. Hopefully it'll be a productive one, and we can get we can play these guys again, right? So hopefully we can come out with a win then after that.
What did you make of it?
All right, Nuon SC with perhaps the interception of the century, Robert Carter Jr.
You had a pretty spectacular interception at Robert Morris. Was this better?
No. I would definitely say the Robert Morris one is still a lot better, specifically because I had a broken hand at that time. Yeah.
Take us through the play.
This one or the Robert Morris one? I just seen the ball in the air. We're playing deep coverage, so I'm just thinking ball in the air, got to go get the ball. I couldn't bring my right hand over. As you can see, my right hand was trying to come over, but it really couldn't get there, so I had to grab it with one.
How difficult was this game defensively, given it seemed like the focus was take away Kenny Lawler and double him and do everything you can to not let him beat you, but it gave up some other opportunities for other guys?
I wouldn't say it was a difficult game, even though we came out with a loss. I wouldn't say it was a difficult game. I don't think we focused on just that one player, because we all come in, we're all pros. We come in at the end of the day, still coming to compete against everybody, because everybody's pros that's on the field. So yeah, even though it's a devastating loss, we don't come in just focus on just Kenny Lawler.
3 minutes to go in the game, and you're up 10. This game you've got to close. Where did it go wrong?
I guess mental. It's a game of inches. So I would definitely say we had to mentally lock in there, and maybe one or two just wasn't mentally there. How
about the winning touchdown when Keandre Smith's on 85's uncovered?
Like I said, it's like a mental thing. Everybody got to mentally be on the same page in this aspect of the sport, and as you can see, we all mentally was not there on the same page.
You used the word devastating. Is that an appropriate term for how this feels right now?
Yeah, I would definitely say this is a devastating loss, just because like he said, we was up 10, 3 minutes left, you got fans leaving the game thinking oh, this game's over, so I definitely thought we should have put that one away,